youngster, but not so much in the league. England under-21 international. Mudryk sent it in, little flick to the near post. And with Jackson lurking, it was Doyle initially who got the ball away.
Well, it went right across that 6-yard box, across the goals, and nobody could get a touch on it. Lovely ball in from Mudryk in the corner. Whipped in, a bit of pushing and shoving in there. Everybody misses it. Off the post, I think, in the end.
Yeah, I think it did hit the foot of the post. It just looped over Doyle's head initially. Off the post, affording him the opportunity to get the ball away. So, lucky escape there for Leicester City inside the opening 4 minutes.
Yeah, you always want, when that ball comes in the near post, someone in line with the near post to head it away. Everybody missed it. There's pushing and shoving in there, but Leicester got away with that one. They're back in possession again.
Childry sending it towards the near side, looking for Fatawu. Here is Sterling. Looking for Jackson, and Didi able to step in. He's been back for the last couple of matches for Leicester. And Didi, here he is now, the Nigerian. Back from injury. Fresh and ready to go. Abdul Fatawu just showed a little too much of that to Cucurella.
Yeah, he did. Came inside, really needed to get the shot off or get the pass off early. Cucurella, who had a really good game on Monday night against Newcastle, I have to say.
He's limping a bit, actually, Cucurella. After that, looks okay now. Yeah, first match back for him for a little while. Cucurella, he'd been out with he'd had ankle surgery.
Yeah, and came for an awful lot of money, and I think a lot of Chelsea fans think that money hasn't been well spent, but they can't just say that about Cucurella. I think there's a few players out there.
He is limping a little bit, actually, at the moment. Yeah, that was his first appearance since the 10th of December, Cucurella. So he's faced by Fatawu, but more than enough time to gather possession now for Chelsea.
Yeah, but Fatawu, I know he's only a youngster, but he's got to hold onto the ball there. There's no pressure on him. He's in acres of space, just gives a cheap ball away. You can't do that at any level, certainly against the Premier League side, you can't.
That was Chowdhury chasing back, and Caicedo finds Axel Disasi. This is Gusto, blocked by Doyle. Yeah, Chelsea just the one defeat at Stamford Bridge since October, so home form improving from their point of view. But Leicester in the Championship in the second tier, they've got the best away record in the Championship, 13 wins. They've only been beaten 3 times away from home all season in the league.
It's an impressive record, isn't it? Because the Championship is a tough league to get out of, and they've been the front runners for a long time, coming under a bit of pressure now, but they look a well-drilled side.
Mudryk's going to leave the throw into Cucurella. And Trevor Chalobah across to Disasi. Chalobah's another one who's missed significant time through injury this season.
Yeah, he struggled the other night against Newcastle. Really gave the ball away cheaply. Didn't look confident at all, and I think that's just where he's not had any games.
Disasi. Augusto, the 20-year-old former Lyon player. Gallagher. Disasi looking for the run of Gusto. Just be beaten by the pace of the ball.
Yeah, it's a straight ball, so you've got to really put a bit of backspin on it there. Disasi, but it's a good run from Gusto. He's done really well, I think, Malo Gusto, in the last few weeks, gaining in confidence. He's still only 20 years of age, but with Reece James out, he's going to run in the team, and he looks a good prospect. But the problem is, if Reece James gets fit, Gusto doesn't get a game.
But he's spent a lot of time on the injury table, hasn't he, Reece James?
Yeah, again and again, and Chilwell the same.
We're not just talking about this season, unfortunately, for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
A terrific presence when he is fit, but unfortunately so many injury issues for Reece James. Ben Chilwell, by the way, is on the bench. He missed the Newcastle game. He's missed quite a bit of the season as well this time around, most recently because of a knee issue, but on the bench against his former club today. Robert Sanchez in goal for Chelsea, given the nod. His manager saying that he needs some game time. Not long since he recovered fitness.
Yeah, but
Petrovic has done well, hasn't he?
He's done very well, and I think he's probably the #1 goalkeeper now. Well, he is with the fans anyway. The fans there on Monday night were saying how well he's done. But he's a bit of a shot stopper rather than a dictating goalkeeper.
Now here's Jackson, and it's confidently taken by Stolarczyk. Pressure on Winks. Pressure on Winks, who gets the free kick from referee Madley. Saw Mikhailo Mudryk put the ball in the back of the net on Monday night against Newcastle. He's maybe starting to find his feet a little bit. Some glimpses of what he's capable of.
Yeah, I think glimpses. Came off the bench, good goal, quick feet.
Here's Ndidi looking to try and get things moving for Leicester City, the championship leaders. A little bit of an opportunity here for Mavididi. Winks. Steady play from the former Tottenham man as it's whipped across the penalty area by Dewsbury Hall.
Yeah, got that horribly wrong there. Dewsbury Hall was trying to whip it in away from the goalkeeper. Just went straight out for a throw-in, I think, on the far side. But again, Leicester comfortable in possession, getting in behind the fullbacks of Chelsea. It's just that final delivery. And also, without Jamie Vardy, you're looking to say, well, is there somebody in this team who can actually, if I put the ball in the box, will get it on the end of it and get us a goal?
Yeah, his experience, never mind his ability, would have been more than handy for Leicester on an occasion such as this.
Yeah, even to come off the bench. But to start the game, he loves the big games, Jamie Vardy. But again, if there's any injury risk, then you've got to keep him for the championship running. You don't want to lose a player of that class.
Chelsea, of course, had to move things around a little bit in midfield today with Enzo Fernandez missing the game through suspension. Gallagher's playing a little bit deeper, isn't he? More alongside Caicedo. Slightly against his attacking tendencies.
Yeah, but I think, you know, he's got to do that job as well, because he's the leader of the team, he's the captain. So I think he likes to get into those advanced areas because he's very good at finishing and creating things. But tonight he's sat in there, or today I should say, sat in there alongside Caicedo. He's got to be a little bit more responsible.
Disasi. Looking for Moises Caicedo, won by Doyle, collected by Jackson, sending it forward towards Raheem Sterling. Doyle gets his head in it, fars the clearance.
It's all too narrow for me from Chelsea. They've got to get the fullbacks wider, or they've got to get Palmer to pull away on the right-hand side. Sterling's tucked in, Mudryk is tucked in. It's all too central.
Gallagher, a little bit of space here to pick out Sterling. Palmer ahead of him, Gusto on the outside, and didn't come close to finding either of them, and Mudryk there upending Mavididi. He too is on the score sheet in the last round against Leeds United, Mikhailo Mudryk.
Yeah, he's scored the 4 goals, hasn't he? And had a couple of assists, Mudryk, but he's just been so inconsistent. I suppose that's, you could say the same of Chelsea as a group, been so inconsistent, trying to find a formula, trying to find a pattern of play which suits everyone. It's very difficult for Pochettino.
Bit of space here for Hamza Chowdhury, and Didi able to take the pass and feed it on, and Fatawu now trying to test Chelsea's defence, but he can't find a way past Caicedo.
He looks a little bit naive to me.
Jackson taking on Vestergaard, breezing past him, supports there, Cucurella scores, Chelsea take the early lead.
Yeah, good play from Jackson, but this all comes by Fatawu losing the ball, running across the 18-yard box, and suddenly Chelsea hit on the counter-attack. Really good play from Jackson, had the awareness to look up, and Cucurella at the far post just taps it in.
Cucurella's first goal for Chelsea. What a match to score it in. And what a chance as well, he could hardly miss from there.
Could hardly miss from there, on his left foot as well. But good to see him getting forward though, Simon. You can see him at the bottom of our picture here, in acres of space, nobody going with him, and he makes the run from deep. Really good desire to get in at the back post. Excellent from Jackson. Slots it across, and Cucurella gets his rewards from running from one 18-yard box to the other and put Chelsea ahead.
It was the searing burst of pace there from Jackson that got him away from Vestergaard. In the world.
One-on-one.
So a rare goal for Marc Cucurella, his first in a Chelsea shirt after a relatively long layoff with injury. And Leicester need to find a response. No doubt Vardy's injury was a big blow, and the injury to Ricardo as well. And Chowdhury playing at right back. We know Hamza Chowdhury is a midfield player, and he's stepping into that inverted fullback role into the middle of midfield whenever Leicester have possession. That's the setup that Enzo Maresca, the Leicester boss, has used all season so far. And Sanchez, the goalkeeper, under pressure, and he's nearly given it away to Daka. Well, Daka very nearly took it off the toes of Robert Sanchez, who hasn't had a lot of football of late. And he gets very lucky, the goalkeeper, that that's gone behind for a goal kick.
And that's what I'm talking about, the high press that Leicester do. They'll be looking for moments like that. And Robert Sanchez, my goodness me, I don't care if you played, you haven't played, you're feeling a little bit out of it. Just sometimes get rid of it. Especially if you're the goalkeeper. Do not give Leicester a goal here.
Great flick by Sterling into the path of Jackson. Sterling square again. Sterling could be in. It comes to Mudryk. Blocked by his own man. Sterling was in the way of Mudryk's effort inadvertently there. Well, Chelsea really should have two. And they're coming forward again with Cucurella. Jackson the angle tight. Left-hand edge of the penalty area. Indeed he gets a tackle in. Chelsea corner. And Chelsea should be 2-0 up.
I mean, what is Mudryk thinking there? Raheem Sterling's just stopped. He can't get out the way. He's thinking, right, I'm just going to stand still, put the shot around me. Here's it straight at him. It ended up being a good defensive clearance, but very much on the front foot, Chelsea, aren't they? Especially if they do beat that press.
Leicester struggling to cope with the pace of the Chelsea attack. Mudryk takes the corner short to Sterling. Left-hand edge of the penalty area as we look at it. Back out to Mudryk again. Mudryk trying to tease beyond Dewsbury Hall. Back it goes to Sterling once more, now 10 yards from the edge of the box. Crossfield left to right to find Gusto. Gusto with lots of time, his cross is deflected behind the swing of the boot of Winks. And that will be Chelsea's fourth corner already. And Leicester have deservedly picked up so many plaudits for their form this season. Unbeaten in 3 on the road since losing that wonderful game away at Leeds in the Championship, but that thrilling ending to the game certainly. Chelsea corner again, whipped in high left-footed, headed away by Dewsbury Hall, and the referee had spotted a foul, so Leicester have themselves a free kick. And they really need to try and find a foothold against a Chelsea side who are attacking with plenty of confidence, albeit the finishing prowess wasn't there for them just a few minutes ago, Scott Minton.
No, and I'm just seeing a replay of that shot, and if Raheem Sterling had have known, obviously he didn't, if he could have jumped, then I actually don't think that the keeper would have stopped that. I think that would have gone in the bottom corner.
Hoisted forward by Fast for Leicester, up the inside right channel. Sanchez, the goalkeeper, quickly up to the edge of his penalty area to claim, and he does so very nonchalantly, a one-handed catch from the giant Sanchez, all in bright yellow.
I interviewed him after the Chelsea-Liverpool game, first game of the season. I mean, to say he's tall, 6'6", I thought I needed a stepladder to speak to him.
Yes, he is. The huge Chelsea goalkeeper, Robert Sanchez, and no doubt frustrated with his lack of first-team football of late, though George Petrovic has been very good for Chelsea.
And then I had to interview Virgil van Dijk afterwards.
Oh dear.
Didn't feel
Was
any
that a
taller,
vertically challenging day?
Absolutely.
Here's Disasi for Chelsea in the right-back position. Infield to Caicedo, who's playing in between the two centre-halves at the moment. A renewed vigour and confidence about Chelsea. The 3-2 win against Newcastle in the Monday Night Football that we brought you on TalkSport earlier this week really does feel like an important win, Scott.
Yeah, I don't know, Joe. I mean, honestly, there's been so many times this season where you're thinking, okay, there's your 2 steps forward, and then there's another 2 steps back. Yes, very good. I think since the Wolves game, and apart from that extra time in the Carabao Cup final, they have done pretty well. As I say, 3-1 wins at Selhurst Park and Villa Park, a good 1-1 draw at the Etihad. But he's still not sure. He's still a little bit flaky and fragile. And the fact that Poch said what he said about the players couldn't sleep the night before the Wembley final, that tells me they are fragile still.
Chelsea 1, Leicester 0. Lovely ball over the top by Disasi, up the inside right channel on far side. Gusto pulls it back to the near post. Jackson tries a little flick. It'll come to Palmer. Palmer with his back to goal. And going away from goal towards the far side, the right touchline for Chelsea. All Chelsea really in the FA Cup quarter-final so far. Manchester United against Liverpool to come later on TalkSport. Live and only with us. Mudryk corner of the area, crosses right-footed, headed away by Fass. It'll drop down towards the goal scorer Cucurella, hooks it over his shoulder. Gallagher can't get it under control, and now Dewsbury Hall, one of the best players in the Championship, on the burst for Leicester, over the halfway line. He darts away from Disasi. Disasi tries to tug him back, and after a look at it, Andy Madley, I think rightly, does give Leicester the free kick.
Yeah, it's a foul, definitely. Dewsbury Hall did really well. Went past one player, then cut inside Disasi, and you're thinking, right, just get across him. And he's going to have to foul and probably be a yellow card. But then he kind of paused a little bit, which gave Disasi the chance to make that foul, but not look so cynical, and therefore it wouldn't be a yellow card.
We'll be back over the international break for you on TalkSport as well, don't worry. International break commentaries, including England against Brazil, England against Belgium, Netherlands against Scotland. We'll have action from the WSL, the Manchester Derby, and the Women's Champions League as well. Then back for the Easter weekend and a feast of football. Winks has steered the ball out to the Leicester left, and here is Mavididi. Mavididi touches it onto Dewsbury Hall. Dewsbury Hall's cross, Sanchez flaps at it, headed behind by Cucurella. Sanchez with a full dive, Spider-Man-like. But as he tried to claw the ball away, he got nowhere near it, and it was headed behind by Cucurella.
Spider-Man normally gets what he wants, Joe. He didn't there, Robert Sanchez. I think flapping is the word.
It'll be a corner now for Leicester City on the near side of the field in front of the Matthew Harding end. One arm up into the air by the taker, who is Fatawu. Fatawu drives it into the near post. Chelsea can't clear initially, then it is hammered away at the second attempt by Trevor Chalobah. Up to the halfway line where Chowdhury is the only man upfield, the lone Leicester City midfielder. Leicester in the change kit today, all black with a sky blue sash across the front of the shirts and sky blue trim. Here is Winks on the halfway line for them, formerly of Tottenham, of course. I doubt there's been much of a warm welcome for him at Stamford Bridge. Fass almost with a heavy touch, but he manages to feed Winks 10 yards further forward. Winks with the ball up the middle, aimed towards the run of Mavididi, cleared away by Cucurella, but Chelsea can't hold back possession, and Leicester having a good spell here, looking for an equaliser. Fass to a corner of the box, lovely cross, headed over the top by Daka. Oh, what an enticing opportunity that was for Patson Daka, the Zambian striker, leaping highest, 6 yards out. He was stretching for it, but as a centre forward, surely he'll feel that should have been on target.
Well, it's brilliant play from Leicester, you have to say. Got the ball out to the right-hand side, and Fatawu's come in on his left. It's a delicious ball, it really is. Again, Robert Sanchez wanting to come out, not getting anywhere near it. And look, it's a difficult header, it is, but it'll give them a lot of confidence.
Here come Chelsea on the break, though. Palmer set Gusto away down the far side, the right. All action here. Gusto pulls it back. It'll come to Raheem Sterling, far post. Misses his kick under pressure. Referee says penalty. Sterling was fouled as he took a big swing at the ball. Fatawu, the man tracking back, and Andy Madley was in a great place to see it. He says that Fatawu didn't get the ball, and Chelsea will have a penalty kick. VAR will look at it.
Well, I think they will definitely look at it, And look, he is, what, 5 yards away, Andy Madley? We're a lot more than that. I just thought Fatu came in and kind of nicked the ball, and it was almost an air shot from Raheem Sterling, but clearly there must have been contact. As I say, he's a lot closer. You just don't give those type of decisions unless you see it.
Andy Madley clearly pointing to his ear, clearly in communication with the VAR, and Jackson, meanwhile, has walked up to the post. I don't know if he's having a word with the Leicester goalkeeper Stolarczyk, just tapping the outside of the post with his heel. We're going to get another look at it again. We've got to monitor in our commentary position, and at the second glance, Scott Minto, that does look like a penalty.
I still need to look at that again because he's come back, and I think he's got the ball, but he's also got the man. And as I say, it's ironic, isn't it, that Leicester have come so close to scoring and then suddenly this happens.
So it's Raheem Sterling for Chelsea in front of the shed end. 6,000 Leicester fans behind the goal trying to put off Sterling here. Here he goes, right-footed, saved by Stolarczyk. Leicester clear the rebound away. What a stop from the goalkeeper, diving to his right-hand side, and the ball ricocheted off his legs. A poor penalty from Sterling. Raheem Sterling and Chelsea denied a second, and Leicester are still very much in the FA Cup quarter-final. Still just 1-0 to Chelsea.
Yeah, found the definitive angle where he does just take his ankle away. But look, I mean, I like Raheem Sterling. He's been an unbelievable player, he really has, and he's been a great ambassador for English football, let alone the clubs he's played at. But one of the things I don't think he's ever really been good at is just striking the ball. So he wouldn't have been my choice as a penalty taker. And I think that goal there, or that lack of, 2-0, I wouldn't say it's over, but it's a very, very difficult climb then for Leicester to come back into it. And now Leicester feel very much on the front foot as if they've scored the goal.
Sterling, who won the penalty, took it and was denied by Stolarczyk. It was a poor penalty, but the goalkeeper must take some of the credit. He sprung to his right-hand side, Jakub Stolarczyk. What a moment for him in his Leicester career, having only made his Leicester City debut this season. And the penalty was close enough to Stolarczyk's legs as he dived away that the ball, I think, came off his shins and bounced away to safety.
Joe, I think you could have saved that if you'd have gone the right way.
Well, I do play a bit of five-a-side, but
it wasn't a good pen. It really wasn't a good pen. He side-footed it, and the fact that you've just said, you hit the nail on the head, is hit his legs. He's almost dived past it. Hasn't gone in the corner at all. Just a really poor penalty.
Just don't overestimate me, Scott.
I believe in you, Joe. Have belief in yourself.
1-0 to Chelsea. 27 minutes played, and now the Leicester end is raucous and full of noise. A wall of noise behind Stolarczyk's goal to the left-hand side. And what a fantastic cup tie we've had so far on TalkSport. As Leicester win the ball back on the halfway line, and now Fatawu, who gave away the penalty, poking it up the inside right channel, was caught late by Cucurella, albeit the ball had long left the feet of Fatawu, the Ghanaian, who is on loan at Leicester City. And Chelsea have possession back. Chelsea will feel they should have scored 2 or 3 so far. Brighton 0, Manchester City 2 in the WSL. Manchester City going joint top with Chelsea in that division. And in fact, they could go clear at the top, City, but they'd have to put up a really big win today. Here is Gusto in the right-back position for Chelsea. Gets the return ball from Palmer. Gusto tearing up over the halfway line here. Winks trying to track him back. Gusto's got the pace to beat Harry Winks. He's run 50 yards. He's led with the edge of the penalty area. The cross is poor. Cleared away by Fass. Should have done better in the air. Malo Gusto knowing what his delivery can be like. And now it's Leicester on the counter-attack themselves. Callum Doyle, far side to left, touches it on to Dewsbury Hall. Doyle didn't look comfortable in advanced position. Mavadini from the edge of the box, chips it into the penalty area to find Fatawu. He brought it down neatly. He laid it square, but indeed he wasn't there to snap up the square pass. And actually, a slight lack of incisiveness with the final ball from both sides, all in the space of 30 seconds.
Joe, this is a brilliant cup tie, it really is. 2 teams going for it, but still looking a little bit defensively vulnerable. I think Chelsea look better on the attack, but they also do look, flaky. And I'd say when Robert Sanchez is on the ball, you can see that they're ready to pounce the Leicester forwards, because they do believe he will make a mistake.
Well, it's only the start of the FA Cup afternoon. We'll be live at Old Trafford from 3:30 for exclusive commentary of Manchester United against Liverpool. All the reaction tomorrow morning from 6 on TalkSport Breakfast. It's Jeff Stelling's birthday. Happy birthday, Jeff. And tomorrow morning he'll have Phil Thompson alongside him, Liverpool legend.
Heard that. Along with Gabby, isn't he?
Yes. As Leicester clear the ball away with Doyle, prodding it up to the halfway line, and Dewsbury Hall, very good with the ball at his feet. Darts up the far side, the left-hand channel. He's got the pace to beat the defender. Dewsbury Hall into the box now. Disasi lunged in. Dewsbury Hall crosses. Fatawu coming into the far post, beaten to it by Cucurella to head it behind. Dewsbury Hall, the ball just stuck to his feet like glue there. So comfortable with the ball at his feet. Scampered beyond the lunge of Disasi, the clumsy lunge. And that's another corner to Leicester.
Well, it was a lunge of someone who realises that someone's quicker than you. You don't make that type of lunge, especially in the box. Dewsbury Hall just went past him, dinked it to the far post, and it's the second time that Cucurella has had a very good defensive header at that back post.
It'll be Fatawu to take the corner, but Matthew Harding again, left-footed and in swinging. High towards the six-yard box. Sanchez doesn't get there, and it's headed behind by Wout Faes. Again, the Chelsea goalkeeper flung himself at it, nowhere near it, stretching one-handed, and Wout Faes, amid a flurry of bodies at the far post, got his head to it, but nodded it well wide. And now there's a Leicester player down inside the 18-yard box. I think it's Yannick Vestergaard, the big centre-half who was forward for the corner. And Vestergaard being helped to his feet now by Patson Daka. It is indeed Yannick Vestergaard, the Dane. But Chelsea, who, well, they almost look, Scott, your old club, as concerning defensively as they are exciting going forward.
Yeah, and that's what I was just saying, that, you know, Leicester are very much in this game without a doubt, and if they keep on putting balls in the box, whether it's set pieces, corners, free kicks, or even just in open play, Robert Sanchez did not feel anyone with confidence at all. I think that was a Superman dive, that wasn't it? With his arm out and completely missed it.
Yes, Sanchez nowhere near the ball, and maybe it was his forward motion that it was Sanchez who clattered into Vestergaard, and Sanchez is being treated here by the Chelsea physio, trying to swipe at the ball, the goalkeeper. Fast heading it wide, and Vestergaard caught in the flurry anyway. And Vestergaard is on his feet, back inside his own half, but Sanchez should be able to continue as well. 1-0 to Chelsea.
Clash of heads, isn't it? You know, both have missed it there. Obviously, Robert Sanchez is the one that shouldn't be really as a goalkeeper. He's not even trying to catch it, he's just trying to punch it away. But he's missed it completely, and then there's been a clash of heads between the two, and Sanchez, you see, obviously you have to be careful. He's just struggling there.
32 minutes gone on TalkSport. Hello to our listeners across the United States and Canada this weekend with our partner station, Sirius XMFC. Forward by Disasi for Chelsea. Long ball down the middle, hopeless pass. Not sure who he's aiming at, but it's gone through to Stellaci.
And if I'm a defender now playing for Chelsea, I'm shouting at my goalkeeper even more so. Do not mess around with it. Do not try and play little intricate football like we know that perhaps they're being asked to do, or other goalkeepers are doing. And sometimes, Joe, you know, you look at Aaron Ramsdale, doesn't play many games, so you feel like they want to do a little bit more, when actually all they should be doing is actually less. You know, just try and make it as simple as possible, because we know that Aaron Ramsdale obviously conceded a goal that way not that long ago, and Robert Sanchez is certainly capable of that at the moment as well.
Here is Sanchez again, ball at the feet of the goalkeeper, clatters it high downfield up towards the far side, the west stand side of the stadium, headed away by Doyle for Leicester. Now Winks on the halfway line, back to Faes, and touched on neatly to Ndidi. Ndidi tried to thread it through the middle, but Chalobah sliding in to intercept for Leicester City. And now this is where Chelsea are really dangerous, on the counter-attack. Mudryk darting towards the corner of the penalty area, waits for the run of Palmer. Mudryk strikes it, and it's turned away by the goalkeeper. It's come back out towards Mudryk, who couldn't get it under control. And an acrobatic clearance by Ndidi, and then Winks to get it away for Leicester. It comes out to Caicedo, who rifles an effort miles over the top from 35 yards in the bright sunshine. Leicester, I think, felt they should have had a free kick for a foul on Winks.
That wasn't a foul, it was a really good strong challenge from Cucurella, and Winks should have done better there. And he kept the pressure on, because Leicester would have been on the counter-attack, but you just see Cole Palmer having a bit of a go at Mudryk, saying, you should have passed me the ball, but actually he was wanting to. Defender Doyle didn't commit, so therefore you're inside the box, you're 15 yards from goal, absolutely have a shot. It's a decent save in the end.
Well, Leicester certainly on the ball. Look at home at a Premier League ground, and I don't think that's a great surprise to anybody who's watched them this season. They are top of the Championship, at least for now. Leeds could leapfrog them later. Sterling for Chelsea running at Faes, blocked off by the robust but fair challenge of Wout Faes. And a header away again by the Belgian defender, but it's only as far away as field on Winks. This time by Caicedo, and Andy Madley again was in a good position to see it. Liverpool 2, West Ham 0 in the WSL. Liverpool, who are on an excellent run of form in that division of late. Free kick then to Leicester, midway inside their own half the field. Enzo Maresca hasn't really left his position, right on the edge of his tiny technical area here, at the very base of the main stand in his Leicester City tracksuit. Leicester now with Vestergaard, steering the ball to his immediate left, and Doyle. Doyle up the inside left channel, lovely threaded pass towards Dewsbury Hall, couldn't bring it under control. Disasi rolls it back to Sanchez, the ball bobbled up in front of the goalkeeper, his clearance loops into the air. Chelsea though win it back with Caicedo. Caicedo chips it crossfield to the left, and Cucurella, whose cushioned header is intercepted by Hamza Chowdhury. Fatawu though not able to bring it down, slightly scrappy passage of play. Chelsea have it back with Cucurella again in the left back position, rattled it in the feet of Chalobah, and then Cucurella back in field to Sanchez, and Chelsea, the ripple of applause from the home supporters. Chelsea played that very neatly. They lead 1-0, 9.5 minutes of a fascinating FA Cup quarter-final in the first half to go, plus added time.
It's flown by, hasn't it? It really has. Really surprised it's only 1-0.
Lots of goals in recent Chelsea matches. Great ball by Sanchez, raking past high downfield, and Palmer's brought it down by the corner flag, very nearly wriggled away from Doyle. He might get the opportunity again here, Palmer. Doyle gets in front of him at the last moment. Used his superior height and physicality to shrug aside Palmer. And now Dewsbury Hall on the counter-attack. Immediately cross-field, left to right, a sweeping pass, taken down brilliantly by Fatawu. Fatawu darts into a central position where he's blocked off by Mikhailo Mudryk. We have it, you have it, time and time again. Both sides continue to come forward with an almost reckless attacking abandon here. Chelsea with Palmer in a central position 40 yards out, whips it to the left, and Jackson, who's in excellent goal-scoring form, slowed the game down as he rated for the overlapping run of Cucurella, and just tapped it infield in the end square to Gallagher in a more central spot. Gallagher gets it back from Cucurella now, and finds Chalobah on the halfway line. So Chelsea have scored through Cucurella. Raheem Sterling has missed a penalty, and there have been very good chances for both teams in between and after all of that.
Yeah, and it's almost like we need a breath and the players need a breath. They're just slowing it down, because it has been we attack, you attack. And I think it's because of the way Leicester play that they're either able to win the ball off the Chelsea defence and then really go at Chelsea's goal, or Chelsea are able to beat that press, and then there's no midfield to protect the defence of Leicester. So again, it really lends itself to a end-to-end game, almost basketball type, enjoyable to watch.
It's Cucurella again, sitting in the left-back position, floats it high towards the halfway line. Jackson is evaded, Fass, who then wrestles into the ground. Clear free kick. And I think Fass has avoided a yellow card there because of where the foul was committed, which was 6 yards shy of the halfway line. Had that been closer to goal, he may well have had a booking, and I wonder whether the Chelsea players are making that point to the referee.
Yeah, maybe so, but I mean, look, the bigger context of this game is that, you know, the Premier League big boys are 1-0 up, but the team from the Championship, and they're only sort of lending their home to the Championship, they believe, for one season, are out very much in this tie. As I say, on the attack, they look strong. They're putting in crosses that look dangerous, with a goalkeeper that doesn't look safe at all. So all the while it's 1-0. They are very much in this tie.
Duncan and Fass might both have done better with headed chances for Leicester.
Dewsbury Hall also is looking very dangerous down the left.
Chelsea 1, Leicester 0, live on Talk Sport. In the 39th minute now, we have more live football than anywhere else on national radio. The European Championships in Germany to come this summer. Sanchez with a long high pass thundered up the field, headed away by Vestergaard for Leicester City, and a lovely touch by Winks to nudge the ball back towards the near side, and Fass under pressure from Mudryk, important touch as well. It's gone out of play for a Chelsea throw. Cucurella will take it. Enzo Maresca way outside his technical area now, the Leicester boss, patrolling the near side touchline, almost ending up halfway inside the Leicester half. And Chelsea have it with Disasi. Very interestingly poised, this game, and I think for the neutral, the penalty miss from Sterling has made it more interesting, because Leicester will have renewed belief given that they're only 1-0 down. And Didi steered the ball into the feet of Fatawu, all left foot, about 20 yards infield from the near side to right. Chowdhury with the curly hair and the pressure from Mudryk. Chowdhury having to hold him off, fight him off. Back it goes to Vestergaard. Vestergaard to the feet of Fass. Both sides trying to play, no question about that. Fass rolls the ball up towards the halfway line. And through the legs of Fatu, under pressure from Cucurella. Fair challenge. Chelsea throw just shy of the halfway line. Here's Scott Minter.
Do you know what? I think you're spot on. Both teams trying to play. Vestergaard really, that ball to Fass wasn't on. He should have just played it back to his keeper and then to sort of go again. Put Fass under pressure, then put Fatu under pressure, and Cucurella was able to really press well and win the ball back. But again, it's the style that Leicester want to play. It's nice to watch, and it's lending itself to, as I say, a really good game of football.
Both sides have numerous substitutes warming up on the near side, the east-stand side of Stamford Bridge. Foul by Dewsbury Hall. Caicedo sent sprawling. Free kick for Chelsea, just shy of the halfway line. And suddenly, for the first time in the game, with 40 minutes gone, there's a slight lull in the pace. Here is Disasi crossing halfway. Disasi's got Gusto 10 yards ahead of him. Gusto hugging that right-hand touchline. Little flick back from Disasi to Gusto again. Gusto keeps his feet impressively. Then a thundering challenge comes in from Doyle. Doyle has come off worst after that challenge between the two. Leicester have got the ball. They're going to keep themselves on the ball. Doyle has got to his feet a little gingerly. And Leicester now with Chowdhury possession in that inverted role, sitting just in front of what is effectively a back three when Leicester have the ball. Winks, who's been a virtual ever-present this season. Back to Vestergaard, crossfield diagonal pass. Lovely intent and accuracy on the pass to find Fatu. Fatu always looking to dart infield onto his favoured left side, and he's just dinked it back to Vestergaard on halfway again.
They played it really well, as you say. You know, Chowdhury went in as like a central midfielder. The space was out wide, but indeed he shouldn't have gone to the space where he was Fatu in the end.
Labadini attacking the left-hand edge of the penalty area. Gusto was backing off a bit. It's teased back to Doyle. His first time cross is poor. Cleared away by the right foot of Disasi. Now Winks, midway inside Chelsea territory, wriggles in between Mudryk and Sterling and finds Fass. And now Chowdhury, the neat one-touch pass to Winks. Winks steers it wide to the near side, and Fatu and Leicester are building a good attack here. And Didi on the underlap, dinks in the cross, poor cross. It was helped by the sliding challenge of Gallagher. I think it may have taken a slight deflection. Easily gathered though by Sanchez. 1-0 to Chelsea, and then Palmer has given the ball away.
Yeah, that's what indeed he should be doing, and timing it right. If there's plenty of space for Fatu to have a go at his full-back, let him do that. But if you can get him behind and get into a decent position and cut the ball back, saw a couple of goals like that in the Champions League where you pass, make that inverted pass, you get to the byline, cut the ball back, and it's a decent finish. And that's what they were looking for there, Leicester. But it was a poor cross in the end.
Chelsea now on the attack. Mudryk looking to dart up the inside left-hand channel. Goalkeeper Stolacic, who's already saved a penalty, had to race to the edge of the box to clatter it clear. And then Fatu was fouled by Cucurella, 10 yards shy of the halfway line. And Leicester will have another free kick. They're underway in about half an hour's time in the Premier League at London Stadium. West Ham against Aston Villa. Aston Villa, who can move further clear of Tottenham in the race for fourth place with a win. We'll keep you up to date with that on Talk Sport. Leeds against Millwall in the Championship at 3. Leeds will go top of the Championship if they win by 2 clear goals. So Leicester could lose their place at the Championship's summit today. But Millwall have been on an excellent run under Neil Harris. There are only 8 games to go for almost everybody in the Championship season. Talk Sport 2, your home of the EFL. And we've got so much action for you over the Easter weekend to come. Couple of weekends time, we'll have 12 commentaries in all from the EFL, the Premier League, the Women's League Cup final as well, all on the network. And you're best to download the TalkSport app to be across all of that. 90 seconds of normal time to go in the first half. Chelsea fans, some of them heading for the concourse areas. 1-0 to the home team against Leicester in the quarter-finals of the FA Cup. Scott Minter.
Yeah, Conor Gallagher's a good player, isn't he? He is football intelligent. Look, I'm not suggesting you would get into the great Chelsea sides of the past, but for this current side, I think he's very, very important, playing a slightly different role today, which he's more than comfortable with.
Here is Caicedo, threading it through the middle to Sterling. Sterling's got the pace, he's bursting clear! Oh, and he's put it wide! It's another massive miss from Raheem Sterling, who just looks to be having one of those days. Denied from the penalty spot by the goalkeeper, and then clean through. Hands to his face, Sterling. He can't believe he's missed that. I think it might have hit the stanchion behind the goal.
Wow. I mean, it was a really good passage of play, counter-attacking, and the ball in behind for Raheem Sterling, and Fast is not going to catch him, but then it's about that composure. And again, while his numbers are much better than they used to be when he was a younger player, you still kind of think you're not 100% sure if he is going to stick the ball in the back of the net, but it's a one-on-one situation. Yes, you've got a defender chasing you down, but you've got to be used to that. Have that ice-cold mentality. I'm going to slip it past the keeper, know where I'm going to put it, and there's going to be nothing he can do about it.
Lovely ball by Caicedo to find him, and Sterling on 8 goals for the season. I mean, he should be on 10, probably, with the chances that he's had. Sterling racing up the inside left channel now, though. He's beaten the defenders again. He's pulled it back, and it's tucked in by Palmer. There's the second for Chelsea, and Palmer shows how to finish all right. His 14th goal of the season, and he celebrates in front of the shed end. And Chelsea strike again just before half-time. And Mauricio Pochettino's team look Wembley bound for the FA Cup semi-finals. Chelsea 2, Leicester 0.
Well, that's a massive blow for Leicester, you have to say, right on half-time. Going in 1-0. I'm sure Enzo Maresca would have been saying, look, we're very much in this game. A 2-0 is going to be difficult. And just after he's made that big miss, Raheem Sterling, where he literally tried to side-foot it, and he was a good yard or so away from the left-hand side of the post. That's where Raheem Sterling really is at his best. Get into a really dangerous position, then putting that assist. And it was one of those where Cole Palmer on his left foot was never going to miss that. He is more clinical. And what a player, what an important player he is already for Chelsea. 2-0. That's tough now for Leicester to get back.
Chelsea's top scorer scores their second. And Chelsea have now what is a commanding lead in the quarter-finals of the FA Cup. We are just over a minute into added time at the end of the first half here. And what great disappointment for Leicester City. 3 minutes added at the end of the first half, and they couldn't quite, I say, cling on. You'd obviously be much rather be 1-0 down than 2-0 down. And Chelsea are bursting forward with Sterling again. Not lacking that electric pace today. Sterling is out, muscle fast. Sterling in the inside left channel again, trying to cut it square. Blocked off by Fast once more. Nearly 2 of the 3 added minutes have been played. 2-0 Chelsea. Gallagher curls one just wide of the far post. Goalkeeper sprawling, think he had it covered.
Yeah, look, it's all very well having someone like Hamza Chowdhury at right back, and then, you know, in theory, that go into midfield, you become a 3, but if you lose the ball, you just become so open to a counter-attack. And whatever you say about this Chelsea side, look, it's a million miles away from where they used to be and where they want to be. But still, they're talented and very quick, fast players.
Here's Patson Daka, lovely control on the corner of the penalty area. Far side to Leicester left. Can Leicester fashion an opportunity right at the end of the first half? Callum Doyle from the edge of the box, trying to play a pass forward. He's won it back, Doyle here. And indeed, he almost on the edge of the box with the chance to have an effort. Chelsea get it away. It was Conor Gallagher who initially gave it back to Doyle. But now Chelsea are on the break again, and Leicester have left plenty of gaps defensively as Jackson very nearly gets in front of the lunge of Vestergaard. There was a foul on Caicedo earlier on in the move. Chelsea free kick just inside the Leicester half. You're listening to Talk Sport with Manchester United against Liverpool to come, live and exclusive at 3:30. And here in the third of the 4 FA Cup quarter-finals, it's Chelsea 2, Leicester 0.
Well, I think that goal is just, most of the people around Stamford Bridge, the Chelsea fans, of course, just breathe a huge sigh of relief there. There's missing chances. It's one of those where 1-0, you make a mistake and suddenly you're under pressure. But that goal, I think, has been very important for them.
Well, what a frenetic and at times fantastic first half to watch. Very enterprising play from both teams going forward, but it's the Premier League team who are heading into the semi-finals as things stand. Chelsea lead Leicester by 2 goals to 0. Mark Cucurella and Cole Palmer, both with tap-ins, both of them inside the 6-yard box. It could have been much more for Chelsea. In between that, Raheem Sterling had a penalty saved, a poor penalty, after a foul on Sterling by Abdul Fatawu, and he really should have made it to himself, Sterling, when he raced clear, all alone on goal, but could only place the ball wide. It was Sterling who somewhat atoned for his finishing mistakes to set up Palmer's second. Leicester themselves have looked quite incisive in the final third, even without Jamie Vardy, though Patson Daka and Wout Faes guilty of missing their best chances in the game. And though Enzo Maresca's side have brought their free-flowing football to a Premier League ground this season, again in the FA Cup, They look to have a very difficult task ahead of them if they're to have any chance of turning this around and making the last four. At half-time on TalkSport, Chelsea 2, Leicester 0.
Scott Minto, this penalty situation at Chelsea absolutely does my head in. Pochettino's spoken about it before. He says a few players can take penalties. It's about their feelings. We as coaching staff allow them to decide on the pitch. And there's been a few instances where you wondered at various times who was going to take the penalty. Cole Palmer took that extraordinary penalty in the 4-4 draw. Sterling was on the pitch, by the way, against Manchester City right at the end. Absolute ice in his veins, scores it, no problem whatsoever. He's never missed a penalty. Raheem Sterling has missed half the penalties he's ever taken. What on earth was Raheem Sterling doing taking that penalty? You tell me.
I don't get it, Aid, I really don't. You know, you talk about that Cole Palmer penalty, and that's against his old club as well, so he would have been feeling even more pressure, and yet he was able to handle it. And what a game that was. And here, okay, you know, Raheem Sterling, it's not such a big a game, obviously, in terms of who they're playing against, but it is an FA Cup quarter-final at a very important moment. And I just go back to what I was saying. Look, I think he's been an incredible player, both for club and country. I think he's been a fantastic ambassador. But in terms of striking the ball, I don't think still that's his strong point. So in terms of a dead ball, I'm sure he can handle the pressure, but just the technical side of things, Cole Palmer's done it. I don't know why he hasn't taken it, I really don't.
Well, Pochettino needs to get hold of that situation, manage that situation. The manager, manage that situation. Somebody asked me in the week why Raheem Sterling's no longer in the England squad. Well, we've seen the answer in this 45 minutes. I don't want to dig him out. He's still contributing. He set up the second goal that's possibly clinched this tie for Chelsea, but I wouldn't have trusted him to finish Cucurella's chance. Never mind the penalty, and never mind the one that he missed when he's one-on-one. So
no, but he has caused caused a lot of problems for Leicester.
No doubt,
you know,
no doubt about that.
He's a massive talent, and he did make an assist. But you're right, in that sort of, you know, a Euro final or semi-final, say against France, and you're one-on-one situation, you just don't know how he's going to do, as you do with others, and especially someone like Harry Kane. I think it's a bit harsh to maybe compare him to Harry Kane, but it is what it is. And look, you know, from a defensive point of view, if I'm up against him, I know I'm going to have a really, really tough game. But, you know, I'm also thinking if he's on my side, how much can I rely on him to know that he's going to stick the ball in the back of the net? Look, if Leicester go and score the next goal, it's tie on. But really, it should be absolutely game over. So that's the difference, really. He just doesn't have that sort of clinical ability.
Yeah, the next goal is absolutely crucial, you're right. And Leicester, I think, have shown enough in that first half to show they can be a threat. They can actually score the next goal. But their defending for the first goal was absolutely shocking. I know he's no goal machine, Cucurella, but you can't leave any player unmarked.
No, you can't. And that goal was all about Nicholas Jackson. If you look at how Vestergaard is scared of his pace, so once he's received the ball, Vestergaard's dropping off instead of actually trying to go tight and shepherd him towards the sidelines. You know, listen, I've been there, I know what it's like, you don't want to get done, but in the end he has got done by dropping off. If he'd have got tight and made it look like, even giving away a foul against Nicholas Jackson, then, you know, that goal doesn't happen. But the fact is, he's dropped off, he's a couple of yards, Nicholas Jackson stood him up, he said, I'm going past you, he has. And it's very difficult to pick up a run like that from Cucurella. Yes, you can turn around and say, well, players should be following him and tracking him, but it's all through Vestergaard not staying close to Nicholas Jackson and Jackson doing what he's doing. So fair play to him, because he has had a lot of criticism this season.
Yeah, I'm actually a bit of a Jackson fan, but I know I'm probably in the minority. I am, yeah.
Wow,
I mean,
thank you.
I think he causes problems. I like him out wide. I think he scores goals. So people have ignored the goals he scored. He's actually scored quite a number of goals for a player so young, with so much expectation. I think he's done really well. Absolutely,
and he hasn't come sort of 80, 100 million pounds. He's come at 30. The numbers, I think, have justified what he's done. And people talk about his misses, and yes, he has had some really bad misses. And I asked that question because I knew that was the $1 million question. I thought, how can I sort of get around it and get him to talk about it? And, you know, I mentioned the players that I played with, not just the goals they scored, but how they dealt with the misses. And, you know, you could see that it was a really good answer. Yeah, I do think about it, like, you know, at night. And of course you do. But actually, just look at the goals that he scored, not the ones that he's missed. Because actually, that's what a goal scorer should be judged on ultimately. If you get 45 chances a season and score half of them, you've done really well. If you only get 10 chances and you score all of them, well, you've still not done as well. So, look, he's a handful, again, like Raheem Sterling, but in a different way. I think in another year or so, he'll be a real player, but there's no doubt about it, he's been having a decent season, and I feel like I've been in the minority trying to defend him. He's no world-class player yet, but he's got the ability to be, and we'll see how he develops.
We're in there together, mate, don't worry. Big chances missed in the Premier League, by the way. Top of that, Erling Haaland. Second, Darwin Núñez. So I think that just about says it all. You can miss chances and still be brilliant. Let's see how the second half goes. Leicester 2-0 down. They need to get the next goal. We've got other football that's going to be going on as well this afternoon. West Ham United take on Aston Villa in a 2 o'clock kickoff in the Premier League. Ian Abrahams is there for TalkSport, and Ian, he's got his attacking players, David Moyes, in the lineup for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I told him the other day, get them all in. Don't waste them on the bench. And he's made just one change outfield today. Emerson back. He's fit for Cresswell. Areola is the goalkeeper. Otherwise, he's got the three of Bowen, Paqueta and Kudus and Antonio ahead of them, the team that beat Freiburg. Villa made 4 changes. Longley, Konsa, Duran and Tielemans in for Cash, Carlos, McGinn, who's banned domestically, and Diaby. Big game this aid, though, because West Ham with a win will go a point behind Manchester United in 6th. Villa with a win will open up some clear daylight again over Spurs, who were thrashed at Fulham yesterday.
Ian, thank you very much. We've been talking about how Leicester can be displaced at the top of the Championship table this afternoon. That's because Leeds United are in action, and a big enough win will see them go top of the table. They host Millwall, so a massive game, Natalie Pike.
Yeah, and there's a real air of anticipation, real excitement around Ellen Road already, because they know it's 2 goals or more they need to win by, and it'll see them go top of the Championship table for the first time this season. And they've really been unstoppable of late. They've won 11 of their last 12 league games, and each of their last 7 here at Ellen Road. However, their opponents today, Millwall, they're certainly in a purple patch of their own. They're looking resurgent under Mr. Millwall, Neil Harris. They picked up 10 points from 12 under the new/old boss. Now, Harris will be looking to pull off a repeat of his Millwall team's stunning victory. If you go back to 2018, they got 2 late goals here, and they shocked Leeds that day to win 4-3. That was their last win at Elland Road. It's just under 90 minutes to go here. The atmosphere is building as Leeds take on Millwall.
And we'll keep you updated with that as well. Don't forget later here at Old Trafford, where the sun is shining, by the way. And Manchester United taking on Liverpool in the final quarter-final. Got it live and exclusive on TalkSport. But at Stamford Bridge, is that goal machine. Mark Cucurella with the first. Cole Palmer with the second. Raheem Sterling's missed a penalty and missed a sitter as well. Leicester have impressed at times. Can they get back into this one with a place in the FA Cup semi-final up for grabs? Second half, next on TalkSport.
The Emirates FA Cup live on TalkSport with Carling, the official beer partner of the Emirates FA Cup and Adobe Women's FA Cup. 18 plus, please drink responsibly.
Here they are, the racing lovers of the UK, phone in hand, ready to play the Coral Reward Shaker. Look at them shake. We've got the regulars at the racecourse shaking their phone with confidence. And look, they've won a free bet. Parents on a day out just happy to be here. They've done it too. An odds booster for them. Lovely stuff. Everyone's a winner. Play Coral's free reward shaker to win guaranteed daily rewards and offers. Coral, we're here for it.
18 plus UK. Max 1 reward or offer per player per day. Reward restrictions, requirements and T's and C's apply. Take time to think.
Hayes Catering is a small company run by 2 brothers, selling food at festivals across the UK. But when COVID struck, the plug was pulled on live events. To help fill the gap, Barclays provided them with a loan so they could diversify their business. And now that live music is back, so are Hayes Catering. Grow your business. Bank on Barclays. Search Barclays Business Banking.
Spring is here, so let's get out there. We could take in some sea air, have some fun in a new city, catch up with loved ones, or simply jet off. Wherever you want to go, National Express offers great value fares to towns, cities and major airports across the UK. You'll always get a guaranteed seat and a friendly face to help with your luggage. Ready to express yourself? Book your adventure at nationalexpress.com.
Modern football is all about control. Controlling the ball, controlling possession, controlling the game. If you ever feel that gambling is starting to control you, help is available right now at talkbanstop.com. Thousands of people have taken advantage of free support and practical tools, like GamBan, which blocks your devices from accessing gambling websites and apps, and GamStop, which will stop you signing up to any UK-registered gambling website. Take control of your recovery. Search Talk Ban Stop.
We don't spend our lives looking for a better interest rate for our savings account. We spend it looking for...
My wallet. Where's my wallet?
Searching to find...
Turmeric. Turmeric. It's got to be somewhere.
On the lookout for...
The car. Where did I park the car?
And needing to find...
Oh, Teddy. I'll find Teddy. I'll find him.
You can find a better interest rate in as little as 5 minutes. That's time well spent. To see what a rate change would mean for you, visit fca.org.uk/switch.
Hi, I'm Paige from Autoglass. Do you think getting your windscreen fixed is a real pain in the glass? At autoglass.co.uk, we tried to make it as easy as possible. Enter your reg, then choose where and when you want your appointment. Pick the time that suits you best. In some cases, that could even be today. We'll make your windscreen strong again. Book now at autoglass.co.uk and we'll handle all the insurance stuff for you. Remember, autoglass.co.uk.
Autoglass repair. Autoglass replace.
Ever tried to place a bet and found it doesn't really reflect you? It doesn't allow you to flex your savvy knowledge of the sport? Then you need Bet Builder from Virgin Bet.
And it's another booking for the away team.
Choose your favourite markets like corners, cards, or even hitting the crossbar, and personalise your bet until you look at it and think, nailed it. Beautiful, isn't it? You can also pick from pre-made bet builders if you like. Make it your own with Bet Builder from Virgin Bet. T's and C's apply. 18 plus. Bet responsibly. BeGambleAware.org.
Game day. Football commentary forged in fire and brimstone. Touch into the near post.
FA Cup Game Day Live.
On Talk Sports.
FA Cup Game Day live and exclusive on TalkSport. Already through yesterday, Coventry and the holders, Manchester City. And in the first of our FA Cup quarter-final offerings today, it's Chelsea 2, Leicester 0. And let's take a look at the half-time highlights in partnership with Carling.
The Emirates FA Cup halftime highlights on TalkSport with Carling, the official beer partner of the Emirates FA Cup and Adobe Women's FA Cup. 18 plus, please drink responsibly.
This is TalkSport, and the third FA Cup quarter-final is off and running. Jackson lays it square. Cucurella there to tap in his first goal for Chelsea. 6,000 Leicester fans behind the goal, trying to put off Sterling here. Here he goes, right-footed, saved by Stelarczyk. What a stop! Sterling racing up the inside left channel now, though. He's beaten the defenders again. He's pulled it back, and it's tucked in by Palmer. Chelsea 2, Leicester 0.
Next goal crucial, second half coming up on TalkSport. That was all thanks to Carling.
The Emirates FA Cup halftime highlights on TalkSport with Carling, the official beer partner of the Emirates FA Cup and Adobe Women's FA Cup. 18 plus, please drink responsibly.
It's Jeff Stelling's birthday tomorrow, and his present is an early alarm as he's back on TalkSport Breakfast from 6 a.m. And to celebrate, we're getting the band back together and reuniting him with Liverpool legend Phil Thompson as they react to another massive weekend of sporting action. I've actually lost count of how many titles and European Cups Phil Thompson won. He got a couple of Manager of the Month awards as interim boss of Liverpool as well back in the day. You can listen to Jeff Stelling and Phil Thompson on TalkSport Breakfast tomorrow morning from 6. Tune in on our free app online at talksport.com or ask your smart speaker to play TalkSport. It'll also be former Leicester boss Martin O'Neill alongside Sam Matchface and Simon Jordan from 10 a.m. tomorrow morning on TalkSport. Very quickly with the latest scores elsewhere. Chelsea Tilt will be back to Stamford Bridge in a second. Dundee Rangers was called off. West Ham Villa starts at 2. Leeds Millwall starts at 3 in the Championship. And in the WSL, Liverpool 3, West Ham 0. Manchester United still leading Bristol City by a goal to 0. Bristol City down to 10. And Brighton 0. Manchester City 2, Lauren Hemp among the scorers. In the National League, FC Halifax Town are 2-0 up at Oxford City, who look doomed to relegation. One FA Cup in the last 20 years then for Manchester United. They're used to winning it more than that. Their quarter-final with rivals Liverpool is coming up live and exclusive only on TalkSport. That kicks off at 3:30. But Chelsea are on their way to the semis. They lead Leicester 2-0 second half, live on TalkSport with FA Cup winner Scott Minto alongside Joe Shannon.
Thanks, Adrian. Just about ready to get back underway for the second half here in West London. Chelsea in the royal blue with white socks. Leicester in the change kit of all black with a sky blue sash across the front of the shirt and sky blue trim. Chelsea will play from left to right in the second half towards the Matthew Harding end, and Leicester from right to left towards the 6,000 travelling supporters at the shed end of the stadium. And Chelsea get the game back off and underway. The ball is thundered long downfield by Trevor Chalobah and the header away by Yannick Vestergaard for Leicester. It's as you were in terms of personnel. No changes at half-time, though just as I say that, there might be a problem for Nicholas Jackson here, who's lying on his back midway inside the Leicester half. I'll give you the two teams for now. Chelsea, Sanchez in goal, Gusto, Disasi, Chalobah and Cucurella, with Gallagher and Caicedo in front of them, Sterling, Palmer and Mudryk in support of Jackson, who's now been helped to his feet by Conor Gallagher. And for Leicester City, the goalkeeper is Stolarczyk, Chowdhury, Fass, Vestergaard and Doyle, Winks and Didi and Dewsbury Hall, with Mavididi and Fatawu either side of Daka up front. Lots of spectators still making their way back to their seats on this mild, and it's cloudy again up ahead now in this afternoon at Stamford Bridge. Offside against Daka. Chelsea have a free kick. Is there any way back for the Championship leaders in the second half of the FA Cup quarter-final, Scott Minto?
Didn't take long for the sun to go back in, did it?
No, sadly not. Fleeting sunshine.
Let's hope we see it again at some point in 2024. No, look, you know, I think that second goal was really, really important for Chelsea because, you know, after that missed penalty and the missed one-on-one as well from Sterling, then, you know, Leicester, without a doubt, would have been thinking, look, Chelsea is still vulnerable defensively. We do believe we can score a goal here. There's only one goal in it. So I think the second goal was important, but as I said to Aid, and Aid said himself, this next goal will be absolutely crucial. Leicester can't just chase it. If they concede a third, then you would think that would be it. Although it wasn't that long ago I was at a certain game that was Bournemouth versus Luton.
That was an incredible comeback. And Leicester produced something special themselves. The 2021 FA Cup winners when they beat Chelsea at Wembley. Here is Mavididi with a right-footed cross, headed away by Cucurella at the far post. A very important and brave header. He had Fatawu and Ndidi converging upon him, and Mudryk has shown great strength to dart forward beyond Ndidi, and then Chowdhury, and he sprinted over the halfway line and he set up Jackson. Jackson in the left wing position, a little tentative as he comes forward, but now he lays it square to Cole Palmer. Palmer on the edge of the area, ships it onto the left foot, can't quite get the shot away. Surrounded by Leicester shirts, just as he was about to shoot. Chelsea, meanwhile, work it left to Cucurella again. Far side, led with the edge of the 18-yard box. Little touch from the very fleet-footed Mudryk back to Gallagher. And Mudryk might open up for him again in a crossing position here. Low ball towards the edge of the box, intercepted and cleared away by Vestergaard. This was the pattern of play we had throughout the first half. Counter-attack after counter-attack. And now it's Leicester with Dewsbury Hall, tripped by the retreating Caicedo. Free kick to Leicester City, midway inside Chelsea territory. Chelsea 2, Leicester 0, 3 minutes into the second half on TalkSport.
Well, two things there. First of all, Dewsbury Hall, I mean, what a run that was, and the pace that he's got, the ball carrier that he is. Just one took the pressure away defensively from Leicester, but two really got them onto the front foot. But I have to say, Michaela Mudryk playing in that kind of number 10 position, he's really enjoying himself today, and you can see it's a very fluid front three, so it's all three just behind Jackson. He's certainly enjoying himself today.
Great ball by Winks, not towards the far side of the right, and Fatawu somehow let it bounce over his head. And out of play for a Chelsea throw in front of the West Stand, the opposite side to where we are. We're at the very back row of the three-tiered East Stand. Great bird's eye view and a very steep drop down to the touchline where Mauricio Pochettino has his arms folded. Knows Wembley very well, Mauricio Pochettino, not just because of the League Cup final earlier this season, but the time that when he was Tottenham manager, Spurs played at the National Stadium. Chelsea have a dreadful record in finals at Wembley of late. They would be one game away from the FA Cup final as things stand here. 2-0 ahead, Cucurella and Palmer with the goals. Sterling missed a penalty and then one other glorious opportunity in the first half as well, though Leicester were not without their moments. Their defending has been poor though. Sterling's found a gap between the midfield and the back four. He slipped as he tried to take it under control, but but Gusto has possession for Chelsea. Gusto up to the corner of the penalty area. Further wide is Palmer down by the dead ball line. First time right-footed cross, claimed easily by Stolarczyk. No idea what Gusto was thinking with that weight of pass. Palmer almost ended up off balance in the front row of the Matthew Harding end.
Yeah, it was a really poor pass, wasn't it, from Gusto? Someone who's, I think, has been fantastic this season for Chelsea. It's interesting now, like the first half against Newcastle, with Sterling playing off Jackson and Mudryk's gone on to the left, so there's a little tweak. It worked for Chelsea here on Monday. Let's see if it works again even more today.
Chelsea looking to make it 4 unbeaten since losing the League Cup final. And if you go back further, that would be their only defeat in 8. John Terry is here today. Big banner behind the goal. And the Matthew Harding end away to our right. JT, it says. Here comes Malo Gusto for Chelsea. Lots of time to cross. Good header away by Fass. In front of Nicholas Jackson. Excellent distance on the clearing header from the Belgian defender as well. Chelsea throw. Now right in front of Maurizio Pochettino's dugout.
If you're going to mention John Terry, you've got to mention Jody Morris.
Oh, Disasi! Terrible back pass! It's going to go in! An own goal of epic proportions from Axel Disasi! He was in the right back position, about 35-40 yards out. Sanchez was expecting the back pass. He was way out of his goal. Disasi, under pressure from Patson Daka, has completely mishit it. It's taken one bounce and ended up in the back of the Chelsea net. One of the most remarkable own goals that we've seen all season. Chelsea 2, Leicester 1, Disasi own goal out of absolutely nowhere. And now Chelsea are on the counter straight away from the restart. Jackson, he's into the box and he's hit the side netting. So Chelsea 2, Leicester 1, and Disasi was consoled by Gallagher and goalkeeper Sanchez, who I have to say was miles away from his goal there, Sanchez. But Disasi with an extraordinary own goal. So 2-1 to Chelsea, Scott Minter.
My goodness, I mean, we did say that Chelsea were frail and vulnerable defensively, but did not see that coming. And you can hear Leicester fans now right back in this tie. We said about the next goal being absolutely crucial, but there's no way it should have come in that fashion. And from nothing, you know, Chelsea have actually started the second half better than Leicester, but from nothing, suddenly they're back in this tie.
That will end up on reels and social media time and time again. I'm sure our team at TalkSport will be getting the footage, because it's an extraordinary own goal from Axel Disasi. He's in the right back position, under pressure from Patson Daka, yes, but it is such a clumsy swing at the ball left-footed, and he almost slices it off his left boot. He's fully 40 yards out, and it's one bounce and into the empty net. Leicester have a goal back, and the FA Cup quarter-final here at Stamford Bridge is very much in jeopardy again. Winks in the middle of the Chelsea half, onto Ndidi. Ndidi wide to the right-hand side. Fatawu attacking Cucurella, beyond Cucurella, whipping in the cross. Sanchez gathers at the near post, and Chelsea from nothing are under pressure now. And it's Sterling darting over the halfway line for them as this quick play resumes once more. Jackson to the right-hand side, low ball from a central position to the right wing, and Palmer. Palmer controls down by the corner flag, so it's Chelsea 2, Leicester 1 on TalkSport. Manchester United against Liverpool comes live and exclusive at 3:30. Here is Gallagher, 10 yards from the edge of the penalty area for Chelsea, waiting for the run of Moises Caicedo! Low shot is gathered by Stolarczyk, a little too close to the goalkeeper.
Well, I'm just trying to see when I can come in, Joe, because just as I'm about to, there's one team attacks down the other end, and the other team attacks. Again, it's gone back to that kind of basketball match. It's brilliant to watch, and for the neutral, it's the perfect thing that could have happened, but Disasi has got to put that to one side now. Let's give credit to Daka, you have to say, because he's the one who chased him down and put him under pressure. But that was a big, big mistake of that, there's no doubt.
And Leicester with renewed vigour and confidence in the game now. The gleeful 6,000 supporters celebrating that remarkable own goal. There was a sense of disbelief at Stamford Bridge when that went in. You have to credit Gallagher and Sanchez, who were right across to Disasi to console him, but Scott Minto, FA Cup winner with Chelsea in 1997, that will play on his mind for some time.
Well, it will, and you know, I wasn't one of those players to go over to someone and make a mistake, because I sometimes wondered it's the last thing he needs, just leave him alone and get him to move on with it. But absolutely, it shows that certainly Robert Sanchez and Conor Gallagher trying to do the right thing. But look, he has got to deal with that himself now. And the next time he gets on the ball, just do the simple thing. Ask for the ball straight away, like he has now. Just look for the nearest pass. Keep it simple.
The Leicester fans are chanting shoot whenever Disasi has the ball.
He's overplayed it, that ball. He just needed to play that into Malagusto, just the next 10-yard pass. Next 3 or 4 times he receives the ball, the simple nearest man to you, so you hit a teammate, rather than trying to something a little bit audacious like he was there, and he just gave the ball away again.
An FA Cup weekend with so many stories so far on TalkSport. And then we're into the international break. England against Brazil, England against Belgium. Scotland travel to the Netherlands. All of those live on the TalkSport network over the international break. WSL action and Women's Champions League football as well. Then we're back for the Easter weekend, the return of the EFL and the Premier League. 12 commentaries across the Easter weekend, and plus the Women's League Cup final as well. All of the live football, all of the time on TalkSport. More live football than anybody else. Make sure you download our app, and then you can swipe between TalkSport and TalkSport 2 when you need to. And you are going to need to between now and the end of the season. Here is Ndidi on the halfway line for Leicester City. The athletic Ndidi back to Winks. Chowdhury with the curly hair, and Leicester look the more likely team now. They're just 2-1 down after that extraordinary own goal from Axel Disasi. Here is Daka on the halfway line. He's played it back to Harry Winks. He's teased it crossfield to the right-hand side and Fatawu. Fatawu all left foot. Brilliant cross, Fatawu! Daka trying to dive onto it. Got a glancing touch. Not enough on it to beat Sanchez. Now Chelsea counter again. Palmer feeds the ball over the halfway line. Oh, and there's no Leicester midfield here. Jackson raiding down the right-hand side. Cuts it across, interception from Fass. But he should have played it squared in field to Gusto much earlier than that. Not sure where the Leicester midfield was there, Scott Mint, so they were nowhere to be seen.
Absolutely, and if it wasn't Callum Doyle on the ball and maybe Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, I think would have seen another counter-attack as well. This is just so end-to-end. The midfield, neither midfield really getting hold of the ball. But it's one of those where the midfield get on the ball and they're looking up and there's so much space forward, so why just sort of pass it simple? Why not go forward? Why not try and attack?
Here come Leicester again with Dewsbury Hall breaking in between the lines and knocking it forward to Mabedini, corner of the box. Good sliding tackle from Malo Gusto to win it back for Chelsea. And a real test of Chelsea's character here, which has been called into question at times this season. Palmer's ball forward is intercepted by Winks. Jackson not very mobile at the moment in the game. Leicester have it with Mabedini in the left wing position again. The leaders of the championship. 2-1 down at Stamford Bridge in the quarter-finals of the FA Cup. We know that Coventry are through to the semis. Manchester City beat Newcastle yesterday. We've got Manchester United against Liverpool later. Live and exclusive on TalkSport. We're the only national radio station with commentary of all 4 of the quarter-finals. Winks rolls it to the near side of Mabedini again. Almost leaden-footed here, Leicester all of a sudden. Walking pace. Chelsea with lots of royal blue shirts behind the ball. Winks has teased it crossfield to the right and wound Fass as we tick towards the 58-minute mark. Fatawu 1-on-1 with Cucurella, touches it onto Ndidi. Dead ball line crosses towards Daka. Difficult header, angle very tight. Behind for a goal kick, but there's the roar from the Leicester fans again.
Absolutely, they're back in the game, aren't they? Of that, there's no doubt. And just down that right-hand side and Chelsea's left, they're looking a little bit vulnerable. Mudryk trying to help out. But certainly they got to the byline, cut the ball back. I mean, Mudryk's probably thinking the ball's going out, so that's why he's not tried to make that tackle, and it ended up going for a corner. In the end, the ball's come in. And he was past the near post, Daka, so it was a difficult header.
Hammered clearance downfield by Sanchez under pressure from Daka. Brighton 0, Manchester City 3 in the WSL. Manchester City heading joint top with the leaders Chelsea. Manchester United have beaten Bristol City, who are bottom of the table in the WSL, and it's Spurs 1, Leicester 0. Elsewhere in the women's top flight, Tottenham and Leicester will meet in the Women's FA Cup semi-finals, both of which will bring you on TalkSport 2 in a few weekends' time. Now then, Enzo Maresca, arms outstretched to Leicester boss because he thinks his team should have a throw. Spoken passionately about his philosophy in the build-up to this game, and it will stay the same for Leicester, regardless of results. They're back in action away at Bristol City on Good Friday, live on TalkSport 2, another massive game in the promotion race in the EFL, with just 8 games to go in the Championship. Chelsea, meanwhile, will be at home to Burnley on the 30th of March after the international break. An absolutely vital for Chelsea's season, and of course, they go through to the semi-finals, and vital you feel for Mauricio Pochettino.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a much bigger game for Chelsea than it is for Leicester. You know, Leicester got bigger fish to fry. Mr. Sarsi was just passing back to Robert Sanchez, and he made sure it got back to him this time.
Nervy Disasi, whose own goal has got Leicester back into the game. There's a foul on Moises Caicedo, who's gone down. Let's get team news from Elland Road in the Championship with TalkSport's Natalie Pike.
Yeah, and Daniel Farke's Leeds have had a 9-day rest since their victory against Sheffield Wednesday, which means he's able to name an unchanged side today. For Neil Harris, he makes one change from the team that defeated Birmingham. Norton Cuffy is in for Watmore. It's Leeds v Millwall at 3 o'clock.
Thanks, Natalie. Leeds will go top of the Championship if they win by 2 clear goals. There's a Leicester fan on the pitch. Somebody's run onto the field from the away end, and here come the stewards to tackle him to the ground.
Idiot.
And so they've dealt with that very quickly and impressively.
Idiot. Get him out of the stadium.
He's got his hands up like he thinks he's a hero. He's anything but. Let's hope we don't see him at a football ground anytime soon.
Well, you can't put him back in the crowd now because, you know, what if he
they've got to
carrying
get rid of
something?
him.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure they will. Anyway, the game has restarted, and Disasi hammers the ball clear for Chelsea. And it's a mistake by Chowdhury, and Mikhailo Mudryk has nodded it down, and his pace is brilliant. Mudryk trying to lay it square, blocks off by Chowdhury. He is so quick on his feet, Mudryk. Even when you think he's not got a standing start, it feels like he's got a 6-yard head start, and he's taken the resulting corner short to Raheem Sterling. Leicester switched off momentarily there. Sterling's left-footed delivery blocked by his own man Mudryk. Not for the first time Sterling and Mudryk get their wires crossed, and now Patson Daka on the burst for Leicester City, surrounded by Chelsea blue, so he has to go back to Fatu on the halfway line. What a quarter-final this is. Chelsea 2, Leicester 1, over an hour gone here. Winks is in the centre circle for Leicester. And now Dewsbury Hall steers it left to Mavididi. Leicester look a Premier League team in waiting. Mavididi corner of the penalty area. Couple of step-overs. Right-footed effort! What a wonderful goal! Steffi Mavididi with one of the great goals of this season's FA Cup to make it 2-2. And joy, sheer joy and glee at Stamford Bridge for 6,000 Leicester fans. These are the moments the FA Cup was made for. Leicester City have come from 2-0 down at Chelsea, and with just under half an hour to go, it really is all to play for. The former Arsenal youngster, Steffi Mavididi, looks up to the skies in celebration. It's Mavididi magic. Chelsea 2, Leicester 2.
Well, just incredible. And again, the beauty and the excitement and the passion of the FA Cup just shines through. I mean, at half-time, we said about how crucial that goal could be for Chelsea to go 2-0, but if they were to get one back, get the next goal, Leicester, then it's game on. Disasi will be kicking himself even more because of what happened at 2-1, letting the door open. But what a finish, what a goal. I have to say, Malagusto has been absolutely superb against him. Mavididi's been playing almost like a left back himself instead of a left winger, but the moment he cuts inside, do not let him cut inside. Moises Caicedo has got to help his fullback up more. First of all, Gusto, don't let him come inside, but once he's come inside, Caicedo, go and help him. Don't let him shoot, shuffle him across the 18-yard box, but he's got that extra half a yard. He still has to finish it. It's a wonderful finish. Robert Sanchez, all 6'6" of him, diving nowhere near it. Wonderful strike. But that's really poor defending from Chelsea. It's brilliant from Leicester. What a tie we have.
2-2 on TalkSport in the FA Cup. Never underestimate the FA Cup for its ability to produce remarkable scorelines like this. Chelsea were 2-0 up at half-time, and they should have been further ahead. The missed penalty from Sterling, the big chance missed by Sterling, in addition to the penalty. And then the remarkable own goal from Disasi that seems to have completely thrown Chelsea, followed up by a peach of a curling strike from Steffi Mavididi to bring the scores level. And Leicester of the Championship feel like they can go on and win the game now, Scott Minter.
Do you know what? So one, Malagusta's allowed him to come inside.
Oh, but Chelsea won it back, and here's Raheem Sterling up the edge of the D. Subs up Cole Palmer to place it. Just a couple of yards over the top corner.
And you're thinking he's good enough to stick that in the top corner. My goodness, what a game we got here. But in terms of that goal, Malagusta's allowed him to come inside, but that can happen. Caicedo's got to come across. He doesn't. And then Disasi almost moves out of the way. That's your big centre-half. Just get, if it ends up hitting you in the face, then so be it. But after what happened with the first goal, get your head on that. Unbelievable. But you're right to mention Raheem Sterling as well. Missed penalty, missed one-on-one. What will be going through his mind? And at 1-0, Joe, I didn't want to say there's plenty of more goals in this match, but I'm not surprised with the scoreline here, and it's not over yet.
Mavididi with a great reverse ball over the halfway line towards Daka. Sanchez has to race outside his penalty area to clear for Chelsea. 2-2, 20 minutes into the second half. Leicester have come from 2-0 down. What a magnificent second half display so far from Leicester City. Even if there was a remarkable element of good fortune about the goal that got them back into it, but they still look vulnerable at the back. Sterling is running at Chowdhury, who tries to win it back. He gets it away only as far as Jackson, who touches it on to Mudryk. Sterling shoots low, brilliant block Vestergaard, comes down to Mudryk on the volley over from the angle, lofted it over the top with the inside of his right boot. Brighton 0, Manchester City 4 in the WSL is the latest score. Liverpool have beaten West Ham by 3-1 elsewhere in that division. They're underway in the Premier League. West Ham against Aston Villa, and let's get the latest with TalkSports Ian Abraham.
West Ham 0, Villa 0, but Villa very nearly architects their own downfall a minute or two ago. Martin is out from the back, played straight to the edge of his penalty area, and Souček, Tielemans was there with a saving challenge. West Ham 0, Villa 0.
Thanks, Ian. And remember, Old Trafford to come after this. But Manchester United against Liverpool.
Brilliant.
It just gets better and better from 3:30. That's the kick-off time. Live and exclusive on TalkSport. Chelsea 2, Leicester 2 with Carling, the official beer partner of the Emirates FA Cup. 18 plus. Please drink responsibly. Yellow card for Mavididi. Chelsea fans out of their seats around us in the main stand. They know that they have a responsibility now to try and help their team as we tick towards the final quarter of the 90 minutes, and there'll be extra time and penalties if we need it today.
Look, I like to think I'm coming across unbiased. I obviously want to see Chelsea go through, but imagine if we get to penalties, wouldn't that be good?
We might not, because Leicester coming forward again. Dewsbury Hall, midway inside the Chelsea half, overhits his pass for once, out of play for a goal kick. The Leicester fans behind the goal, waving their arms up into the air, and they really believe that Leicester can win this tie and get themselves back to Wembley in the FA Cup. Remember, they had that incredible 2021 final victory against Chelsea. They want to beat them in the FA Cup again and reach Wembley for the last four. The ball has been won back by Jackson for Chelsea. Chelsea a shadow of themselves now. Gallagher's been fouled. Now, where is the leadership in this Chelsea team? Who's going to get the game back under Chelsea control?
Yeah, and look, if Chelsea go on to lose this game, then Pochettino will get a lot of criticism for it. But what can he do about Raheem Sterling missing a one-on-one, Raheem Sterling missing a penalty, Disasi doing an own goal from 40 yards out? And, what can you do? Control the controllable. So I'm looking at the bench, and there's Noni Madueke, there's Carney Chukwuemeka, and the rest are sort of either defenders or youngsters. It's not a lot he's got. This team should be good enough to beat Leicester. Sometimes it's down to the players, not the manager.
Well, I'm being told Chelsea are thinking of making a change. Here is Sterling wriggling away down the near side of the right. He's up the edge of the penalty area. He's pulled it back towards Jackson, smuggled away. Out of play by Ndidi. There was a change that Leicester made, by the way, after they scored the second goal. Yunus Akgun, who's on loan from Galatasaray, on in place of Fatawu. That's Leicester's only change. Disasi's cross for Chelsea. Mudryk trying to bring it down inside the penalty area. Went down under the challenge of Fass. A very half-hearted appeals from the Chelsea fans in the lower tier for Matthew Harding again. Chelsea playing from left to right, but all of the action has been at the shed end goal in the second half, where Leicester have fought back remarkably to make it 2-2. And the Disasi own goal is one of the strangest own goals you'll ever see, but Mavidini's finish was just brilliant.
No, it was, but it just goes to show, again, about wrestling back the tempo and the psychology of the game. You know, I was at Bournemouth during the week where Luton completely on top, but they couldn't stop what happened with Bournemouth in the first 15-20 minutes. Now Chelsea, midfield, what can you do to stop and control the tempo in the way that you need to? Because at the moment, if there is going to be a team that's looking likely to go on and score the winner, it's probably Leicester.
They're going to get 20 more minutes here, potentially, with the score at 2-2. Otherwise, we'll have extra time. Jackson's little touch on the stretch can't get it under control for Chelsea, who are going to bring on Chilwell, who was superb very, very early on in the season, but has been out injured for almost the entire time since then. And here come Leicester City. Great ball prodded down the left by Mabedini to Kidd and Dewsbury Hall. Dewsbury Hall can cut it back towards Ndidi, cleared away by Cucurella on the volley before he could reach it. Now Chelsea with Sterling. Both sides have seemed to forget about defending across the course of the game. Great touch, Jackson. Lovely touch to dart forward. Nicholas Jackson, fouled by Doyle, was he? Referee has a look and says penalty. Amazing touch by Nicholas Jackson with his back to goal to flick it away from Vestergaard. Then he went clear, fouled by Doyle, penalty given, and the card is yellow. Scott Minto.
Interesting. I mean, first of all, we have to talk about the run from Jackson. Again, a lot of people have had criticism of him this season so far, and you know what, I understand, but I see a player there, and that's exactly what we did see there. The great intelligence to realise that he wasn't going to be able to receive the ball and go back the other way, so he flicked it round Vestergaard. Then he made sure he got in front of Doyle as well. He brought on the contact. It's a definite penalty.
VAR checking this possible penalty. 2-2 at Stamford Bridge. Leicester have been much the better team in the second half, but Nicholas Jackson, almost all on his own, has won a penalty kick. That touch to flick it away from Vestergaard. I don't know if you remember a goal that Dennis Bergkamp scored for Arsenal against Newcastle about 20 years ago now.
Yeah, absolutely.
To that, the touch.
Similarities.
They're wondering, was it
on the edge?
On the edge of the box? Was it outside the box? Jackson's getting some treatment in the penalty area. I don't think there's any question it was a foul, but where did it take place is what VAR is checking.
Listen, it was 100% a foul of that, there's no doubt, and he fell into the box, but there was very close as to whether it was on the line or not. Don't forget, if it's on the line, it's in, so it's a penalty. I'm watching a replay without it being slow motion at the moment. It looked like it was on the line, so therefore should be a penalty.
Well, it's Callum Doyle, the Manchester City loanee, who's conceded the foul, and they're looking at it again and again, the video assistant referee, and the referee has signalled that the foul took place outside the penalty area. In fact, he's going to be sent off here. There's a red card. There'll be no penalty kick. It'll be a free kick to Chelsea, and a red card has been produced for Doyle. So the referee has cancelled the original yellow card. Doyle has been given a red and has been sent off, and VAR has adjudged that the foul took place by a minuscule margin outside the 18-yard box, and so it'll be a free kick rather than a penalty for Chelsea. A hair's breadth outside the penalty area. Leicester down to 10 men, 2-2, and Cole Palmer is sizing up the free kick.
Well, where do you want to go with that? I mean, that was incredible.
Help me, Scott.
Again, brilliant from Nicholas Jackson. I'm watching 3 or 4 replays, and I still can't completely tell. You know, it looks like the actual touch on the foot, he was maybe just outside. His body probably leaning towards inside. It was just outside, and therefore it is a free kick.
Yep.
You absolutely have to pause it. Not even slow motion would give the definitive answer. So they've stopped it. It's just outside, but yeah, there's a red card.
So the red card has been given to Doyle after the initial check. The penalty's been cancelled and a free kick to Chelsea. Right on the edge of the area. Will it be Palmer or will it be Sterling? Leicester are going to make a change before this free kick. Here comes James Justin, the number 2. Leicester, meanwhile, in the wall. They've got 5-6 players in the wall. Somebody's lying down behind them. Everybody is inside the 18-yard box to defend this free kick for Leicester.
Do you know what?
Mabedini goes off.
Even this moment here, this incident here, pretty much sums up the game, doesn't it? It's been absolute chaos and carnage, but just brilliant to watch.
Mabedini replaced by Justin. 2-2 the score. Free kick to Chelsea. They thought they had a penalty. VAR pulled it back because the foul by Doyle, who's now been sent off, was on the edge of the box. Palmer sizing it up left-footed. Raheem Sterling has taken a much longer run-up, and he may yet strike it right-footed here.
No chance.
In front of the Matthew Harding end. 2-2 in the FA Cup quarter-final. 15 and a half minutes to go. Big, deep breath here for either Palmer or Sterling. Sterling to smash it. Absolutely miles over the top. That's nearly ended up outside the ground. Listen to the reaction of the Chelsea fans. There was a debate in the first half that Palmer should have taken the penalty. There'll be a debate there that he should have taken the free kick. What is Sterling thinking with that?
Oh my goodness. I mean, even the whole of the Chelsea fans around Stamford Bridge are booing. And they're singing,
Oh dear.
not a very nice song.
That passage of play sums up this crazy quarter-final. And it's not over yet, it's 2-2. The 10 men of Leicester battle on. Thundered downfield by Disasi. Sterling is chasing it. Backheader away by Vestergaard. Flick further clear, not very far by James Justin for Leicester City. Leicester readying another change shortly, I think. Palmer's laid the ball square in infield to Conor Gallagher. Gallagher faced up by Ndidi, blocked off by Ndidi. Daka plays it back to Fast. Conor Cody is going to come on for Leicester. Very experienced, as we know. Down to 10 men, Enzo Maresca's team.
There comes a point, though, Joe, where I understand Cole Palmer and Raheem Sterling is the senior pro. But he's got to turn around and say, look, I'm sorry, Raheem, you had the penalty. I should have had it. I'm having this.
Justin for Leicester, the substitute. Racing down the near side, the left. He's blocked off by Gusto. Down by the corner flag. Chelsea have been in this sort of situation before this season. At crucial moments. Remember the League Cup final against Liverpool, against that youthful Liverpool side, where they failed to step up to the mark. And now here against the 10 men of Leicester, Sterling's utterly ballooned free kick.
Joe, you could have put 2 goals above it and 2 goals to the side of it, and it still wouldn't have gone in. And I understand he's trying to hit it as hard as he can, but he's making it about him now. And Cole Palmer, as I say, has got to step up. And Adrian made a really good point. And sometimes I'm a bit like, you know what? Mate, you can let the players decide between themselves. But when you've got one player who's clearly much more of a senior pro than the other, or the better one, who should be in that position, who should be striking it, is saying, okay, I won't take it, then the manager has to see that and overrule it and say, no, I want him to take this free kick. Like, you're on next. Any free kicks or penalties, you're on next. Not Raheem Sterling trying to redeem what happened in the first half, and then he's chasing it, and it's made it even worse now.
Leicester making a change. Conor Cody for Ndidi. We've been waiting to see Carney Chukwuemeka take to the field for Chelsea. A rare appearance, of course, after his injury-hit season so far. Chukwuemeka stripped and ready to come on in Chelsea Royal Blue. It's 2-2 live on TalkSport. Manchester United against Liverpool comes at 3:30, and Mudryk is coming off, and the Chelsea fans react with fury. Boos all around us. Chelsea fans stand up, arms outstretched, and I think they feel there's no way Mudryk should be coming off. That is a reaction that tells you a lot about the relationship at the moment between the Chelsea fans and their head coach.
Yeah, look, I can see what Pochettino's trying to do. He feels like by taking off Raheem Sterling, he's kind of killing him, but he's got to do what's right for Chelsea Football Club.
Chance of you don't know what you're doing from the Chelsea supporters after that substitution. Brighton 1, Manchester City 4 in the WSL, and Salford lead Morecambe by a 0-0 in League 2, playoff chasing Morecambe. Mudryk's getting a standing ovation as he walks around the edge of the field. Leicester are down to 10 men. We've got 11 and a half minutes of normal time to go at Stamford Bridge in an absolutely enthralling cup tie that probably everybody thought was over at half-time when Chelsea were 2-0 up. The own goal from Disasi, the stunner from Mabedini. Leicester have had Callum Doyle sent off. Chelsea thought they had a penalty, but it was cancelled, pulled back for a free kick instead. Here they come with Cucurella, playing it back to Conor Gallagher, corner of the penalty area. And it's touched to Chukwuemeka now. Chukwuemeka tries the 1-2 with Gallagher, who's just prodded it back into the path of Chalobah. Now Disasi, midway inside the Leicester City half here. Wide to Malo Gusto on the near side, the right. Gusto shaping to take on James Justin. Back it goes to Caicedo. Infield now to Gallagher. Chelsea with a man advantage. Going into the last 10.5 minutes now. Gusto on the corner of the box. Chelsea playing from left to right. Little flick from Gallagher back towards Caicedo. The interception from Dewsbury Hall. Leicester continue to look a threat on the counter-attack. Dewsbury Hall bursting over halfway. 4 in the attack here for Leicester. Whip ball crossfield. Comes off Cucurella. Bounces down to Daka. Here is Yunus Akgun taking on Cucurella. On the edge of the area, the substitute couldn't smuggle it into the path of Patson Daka. Chelsea get it away. And now Chukwuemeka back to Sterling. Jackson was calling for it early. Sterling touches it onto Chukwuemeka. Options left and right. Goes right to Palmer. Into his stride. Effort is blocked by Vestergaard. Screams from Chelsea fans around us as Palmer looked to dart clear on goal. 10 to go. 2-2. Here's Scott Minter.
I still have no idea which way this game is going to go. And let's not forget, it's 11v10 now. So Chelsea have the extra player, and they should be able to make the pitch big, tire Leicester out, even if they're thinking now, okay, it's going to go to extra time. Let's start getting them really tired in their legs. But at the moment, again, it's just end to end, and Chelsea have got no pattern of play here.
Palmer for Chelsea, 35 yards out, low shot deflected. Came off Dewsbury Hall. And then Connor Cody was in there to help it go further away. The 10 men of Leicester, 2-2 against Chelsea. Chukwuemeka's on the ball for Chelsea, the substitute, edge of the box. Little touch to Malo Gusto, and then he slides in to find Palmer. Palmer, little pocket of space. Left-footed shot blocked by Justin this time. Leicester camped much deeper now, as Justin can only knock the ball out of play for a throw. Leicester under pressure. Chelsea being urged forward. Let's get the latest from the Premier League at London Stadium with Ian Abrahams.
It's still West Ham 0, Villa 0. Souček has not one but 2 efforts on goal. Pakatina's shot that was goal-bound, deflected wide off Souček, and the other end, Watkins' shot saved at the near post by Areola. West Ham 0, Villa 0.
In the 5th round, Chelsea got a late winner to beat a high-flying championship team in the shape of Leeds. Can they do it again here? Caicedo, great ball up the middle, headed away by Fast. It's come down to Nicholas Jackson, who got a touch on it, and then Justin with a very calm back header into the gloves of the goalkeeper Stolarczyk. We're in the 82nd minute, and the scores are level on TalkSport with Manchester United against Liverpool to come. Hello to our listeners in the US and Canada, with our friends on our partner station Sirius XM-FC. Leicester playing the ball out of the back. It's finished Brighton 1, Manchester City 4 in the WSL, so Manchester City level top on points with Chelsea. The women's Manchester derby live over the international break on TalkSport 2. Here is Chowdhury for Leicester. Right back position, back to Fast. He's given it straight to Jackson. Jackson onto Raheem Sterling. And now Chukwuemeka into the penalty area, tried to lay it square, cleared away. It's come back to Sterling again. Chukwuemeka got it all wrong. Leicester making it very difficult for Chelsea in the final third now, because they're much more compact, as they have to be, Leicester, you feel. Little touch from Gallagher back to Chukwuemeka. Sterling edge of the box, thought about a shot. On to Chukwuemeka again. Right-footed effort! Curling over the top. 2-2 it remains.
He's looked good since he's come on, hasn't he? He's looked sharp, he wants to get on the ball. He's trying to get into those little pockets of space. And whether it be making an assist or scoring himself, he does look sharp.
What amazing stat from today, of course. Leicester 2-2, but they've only had 1 effort on target.
That's an amazing stat.
Because of Axel Disasi's own goal. When you try to tell the story of this game, Scott Minto, there, well, it's a long one, isn't it? And it's not finished yet, of course. Poor clearance by the goalkeeper. Palmer tried to return it with interest, headed away by Cody on the edge of the box. Now it's cleverly collected on his chest by Caicedo. Midway into the Leicester half. Gallagher looks up, steers the ball square to the right-hand side, and Gusto's right-footed cross. Thumping header away by Connor Cody, who has scored goals at Stamford Bridge before, but he's certainly been brought on to help Leicester from a defensive perspective here. Tackle from Justin on Jackson, Chelsea throw, 5 yards from the corner flag, 2-2.
I think you need 90 minutes to explain the 90 minutes.
Well, there may be another half an hour at least to come, as Dewsbury Hall collects possession. On the edge of the Leicester penalty area, wriggles away from Gallagher, steers it infield to Daka, a tired-looking Daka, who's dispossessed, but then Palmer on the stretch. Can't control, even Palmer for Chelsea. Not quite as composed as he sometimes maybe is. Gusto's flick and the dink down the right-hand side from Gallagher back to Malo Gusto. Gusto with Chelsea coming forward with this man advantage deep inside the Leicester half here. Conor Gallagher's deflected cross, only half away, comes down to Cole Palmer, edge of the D, twisting away from Cody, back onto the left foot. The shot is blocked by Fass. Sterling has kept it in. Chelsea still on the attack, in fact. Fass has gone down hurt. Let's get it on in the Premier League at London Stadium. Ian Abraham.
West Ham 1, Aston Villa 0. Soufal right-hand side with delicious curling ball in, and there was Antonio diving header 8 yards out beyond Martinez. West Ham 1, Villa 0.
So Fass is being treated here. 5.5 minutes to go of the 90, with potentially extra time to come. Noni Madueke ready to come on for Chelsea here. And on an extraordinary afternoon of FA Cup football so far, Manchester United against Liverpool comes live and exclusive only on TalkSport at 3:30. Jim Proudfoot has the team news at Old Trafford.
And Manchester United make 2 changes to the side that beat Everton. Casemiro and Evans are injured. Wan-Bissaka and Højlund return from injuries of their own. Lindelof will move to centre half and Dalot to left back. They've also got Maguire and Mount both back on the bench. For Liverpool, 3 changes to the side that beat Sparta. Van Dijk for Bradley, with Gomez moving to right back. McAllister for Clark. Diaz in for Gakpo. Gravenberg's back on the bench. And it's live and exclusive to National Radio from 3:30.
Raheem Sterling going off. At first, there were ironic cheers. Then there was some boos from Chelsea fans. Sterling, to his absolute credit, responded by applauding, not sarcastically, but applauding the Chelsea fans as you would do when you go off. And then the fans react more generously to Sterling and do genuinely applaud him off the pitch as Noni Madueke comes on. A day to forget for Raheem Sterling. And Fass, just to say for Leicester, is temporarily having to go off, so they'll temporarily be down to 9.
Yeah, look, I understand what Poch was trying to do. I don't necessarily agree with it. You make the first substitution, taking Sterling off, you kill him a little bit, but, you know, he was the player to take off, so then the second substitution has to be him. And I think you kind of saved a little bit of face there, and fans understand it. And then Noni Madueke has a wonderful opportunity to try and tire this Leicester side out.
Less than 4 minutes of normal time to go in the tie. Fass still waits to come back on for Leicester. They're temporarily down to 9. Madueke down by the dead ball line for Chelsea. First touch back to Gusto. 2-2. Gusto's deep cross too high for Chukwuemeka. Chelsea fans again appeal to the referee, but no penalty is going to be given here. Chelsea, who at one stage had a penalty given, VAR decided to overturn the initial decision. It was given as a free kick, which Sterling blazed over the bar. And at the same time, Callum Doyle's initial yellow card was changed to a red. You have to feel for Raheem Sterling, Scott.
No, you do. And again, I go back to the fact of that he's been a class player. He is a class player. He's been fantastic for club and country. He's been a great ambassador for this country, but he's had a really poor game.
Chelsea want to win it in normal time. Scoop forward by Caicedo, easily brought down by Cody. Jackson running downfield. The ball didn't even get anywhere near him. Akgün for Leicester, the substitute, is beaten to it by Chukwuemeka. Chelsea trying to make the man advantage count. Fass is back on the field. Caicedo lift to the centre circle.
And you know, Pochettino had to take Sterling off at some point, otherwise he would be up for ridicule himself. So now the fans get it, understand he hasn't waited too long. He's off, it's the right decision. Now Chelsea can go again.
Noni Madueke looking to scamper infield from the near side to right, tried to not make Dewsbury Hall. Dewsbury Hall blocked him off with ease. Then Gusto dives in, firm but fair to win it back for Chelsea. Gusto darting into a central position here. Can't find Palmer. Palmer statuesque. Cody nipped it in front of him to get it away for Leicester. Chelsea 2, Leicester 2. Chelsea from left to right towards the Matthew Harding end. 2 minutes of normal time left now. Leicester came from 2-0 down in the game. The incredible own goal from Disasi, and then Stepi Mabedini with a wonderful equaliser. Mabedini, who's since gone off. Leicester have since had Callum Doyle sent off. So they're playing with 10 men, Leicester. What a chance for Chelsea to reach Wembley. Palmer plays it infield to Conor Gallagher, 30 yards out. He steers it wide to the right. Malo Gusto, time to drill it in low. Madueke shot saved by Salacic and hammered behind for a corner.
Brilliant save from Salacic, it really was. And you get the feeling now next goal is the winner. So that was a crucial save. Leicester got to hang in now. until they get to extra time and then basically play for penalties.
Stolarczyk, who saved a penalty, remember, in the first half from Raheem Sterling. Corner for Chelsea. Is this the moment here? Palmer's delivery, headed away at the near post. Not a good delivery by Palmer. Flick further clear by Dewsbury Hall. Leicester defending the edge of their own 18-yard box. You can understand that now. Chalobah and Disasi still forward. And it's whipped in by Madueke, headed away. Only as far as Cucurella. Cucurella's played it left into the penalty area. Delivery is headed away by Fast. It's come out to Chukwuemeka. Leicester players throwing their bodies in the way all around him. Now Madueke, the 11 against the 10. Chelsea coming forward. Gusto right hand edge of the box. Gusto low cross. Cleared away. It'll drop down for Jackson. Over the top from 12 yards. And for a man who's been in such good goal-scoring form of late, it's another glaring Chelsea miss as we creep closer towards extra time.
And yet again, it's brilliant for Malagusta down the right-hand side, going past his man, whipping the ball in. It's a decent enough first touch from Nicholas Jackson, but he's leaning back, and that's where you're talking about the composure, and waiting for the ball to come down a little bit more. So, in the end, you got yourself right, and you're not going to hit it over. What a chance that was.
Massive cheer for Ben Chilwell, who's, well, they were talking, weren't they, Chelsea, about undergoing potentially a specialist assessment. The former Leicester player onto the field in place of Cucurella, whose opening goal feels a heck of a long time ago now. Chilwell, who was named in the England squad early this week. 8 minutes added time at Stamford Bridge at the end of normal time. A cup tie that has had so many wonderful ingredients to it. And it's not finished.
It's not what Leicester want to hear, though. 8 minutes plus another 30.
2-2.
Unless they can find a winner with 10 men.
Chilwell on for Cucurella. Here's Conor Gallagher for Chelsea. They struck in stoppage time to beat Leeds in the 5th round. And they sense another dramatic FA Cup winner here. Crossfield Gusto, high to Chilwell. Little flicky, won it first against the tiring Hamza Chowdhury. Chukwuemeka escapes down the left-hand side. Chukwuemeka for Chilwell on the overlap. Sorts his feet out, crosses in, steered away by Fats. Well, it will be the story of Chelsea's season, Scott. With all the chances they've had, if they can't convert, if they can't go through. Here is Conor Gallagher, massive credit to Leicester City. Gallagher touches it on to Jackson. Back to Chukwuemeka in the box. Palmer to Chukwuemeka! That will win it for Chelsea! Carney Chukwuemeka leads the celebrations. It's Chelsea who's got the stoppage time winner. And Chelsea are heading back to Wembley for the FA Cup semi-final, surely. What an impudent flick from Cole Palmer. Had to be him to set it up. And there was Chukwuemeka gleefully at the Matthew Harding end to roll it under Stolarczyk. It's such a desperate moment for valiant Leicester City. The 10 men have been broken down. Chelsea 3, Leicester 2 in stoppage time.
It's absolute heartache for Leicester, but it's absolute brilliance from Carney Chukwuemeka. Came into the side at the start of the season, did really well, and then had a long-term injury. He's come back, he's found it hard to get back into the side and get minutes on the pitch. But ever since he's been on the pitch today, he's looked dangerous, he's looked direct, he's looked sharp, and it's a wonderful 1-2 with Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer with a lovely little Cruyff flick, but by that flick and by the run from Chukwuemeka, he's through on goal. Does he have the composure? Does he have that ice-cold mentality? Absolutely, sticks it underneath the goalkeeper, and it's difficult to see how Leicester can come back from this now.
You just have to admire the silk of Cole Palmer. One of England's best players at the moment, of that there is no doubt. Palmer influential for Chelsea again today. They lead 3-2, and we've had 3 of the 8 added minutes against the 10 men of Leicester. Palmer's ball up the right-hand side. Jakub Stolarczyk, the goalkeeper, will get to it. The 10 men with one final opportunity here to force extra time. What a wonderful effort it's been in the second half from Leicester City, but since Doyle was sent off, they've very much been on the back foot.
Absolutely. You know, from that Disasi mistake, it was all them, and getting about to 2-2, there was a point where you're thinking, well, if there's going to be another goal, it's going to come from Leicester. Chelsea unable to stem the tide. And the boos of a substitution of a player not being taken off that the fans feel should be taken off, but you know what you say about Poch, he did take Sterling off in the end, and what he did also do was put Chukwuemeka on first and foremost, and he has been excellent. He really has.
And suddenly Chelsea are winning all of the second balls. Caicedo gets in front of Dewsbury Hall. Well, Enzo Maresca's Leicester City can take so much from this, and they will use it, I'm sure.
No, they can. Absolutely, Joe. I mean, look, they've got the international break as well, so some of these will be going off, but the rest, he can certainly give a good few days off. They've given absolutely everything here, and I think what they've shown is they can live in the Premier League. Just got to get there.
Pochettino, just seen it, I'm monitoring the commentary position, punching the air with delight. Still just under 4 added minutes to go of stoppage time. 3-2 Chelsea lead Leicester. Harry Winks' deflected cross, headed away by Disasi. Scoop further clear by Chukwuemeka. Many gaps at the back now for Leicester City. Chukwuemeka's all alone to the left if Palmer can spot him. Palmer the sort of player with the vision that he can. Great sweeping ball by Palmer to find Chilwell. Where would Chelsea be without Cole Palmer this season? Chukwuemeka edge of the box, gets it back from Gallagher. Carney Chukwuemeka dancing through the middle, and now Palmer with a snapshot that's blocked. Would be harsh on Leicester to concede another. We've got 3 added minutes to go, with Manchester United against Liverpool coming next on TalkSport. An unbelievable FA Cup quarter-final weekend, and we'll have the semis at Wembley and the final 2. I have to say, Scott, it's been one of the most enthralling games I've covered all season.
Well, it's been one of the most enthralling games since Bournemouth-Luton that I covered.
Since Wednesday for you. Since Wednesday.
I've had some
You've had all of it this week.
Some crackers. It's been a great game of football. Again, the FA Cup at its very, very best. 2 teams going for it, no one sitting back.
Oh, great turn by Palmer. He's wriggled away from Cody, who's tugging him back. Clear foul, obvious yellow card. And in terms of timings in the game now, 2.5 minutes of added time to go. Chelsea 3, Leicester 2. Carney Chukwuemeka with what looks like the goal to send Chelsea into the semi-finals of the FA Cup.
Yeah, Malagusta was just running down the right as if they were chasing the goal there. It's like, no, I don't even think the ball should be played in there. I just think they should just keep it between themselves. It's 11v10, make the pitch big, keep the ball as much as possible, don't give the ball back.
They did it to Leeds, and they've done it to Leicester Chelsea. Late goals to lead 3-2. The sun is out at Stamford Bridge, as if to mirror the mood in the stadium among the home fans now. Cole Palmer's left-footed free kick is cleared away by the wall. Less than 2 minutes of added time to go. Leicester have given it everything. Vestergaard's playing as a centre-forward now. I've seen Vestergaard score late goals on this ground in the past, but it's all Chelsea. Ben Chilwell darting into the box, trying to chip it beyond Chowdhury, who got back to clear. Corner to Chelsea, 90 seconds left. Scott Minto, who won the FA Cup in the 90s with Chelsea, your old team, heading through as it stands.
As it stands, and to be fair to Chelsea, and Ben Chilwell has come on and done very well, gives them width down that left. I think Cucurella has actually defended very well, but not been able to get forward. But Chelsea, again, game management, seeing the game out, and Leicester desperate to try and get hold of the ball and get the ball up the pitch, but they can't get hold of it at the moment.
Well, they tried to take the corner short there, Chelsea, and then they gave it straight back to Stelarczyk. 1 minute to go for Leicester, one of the 8 added minutes. This is it. Stelarczyk in the pink top, away to our right. He's just going to hammer it forward and long here. Chelsea 3, Leicester 2. Chelsea heading for the semi-finals. Leicester trying to force extra time, but Justin's touch is heavy. Chelsea have it back with Malo Gusto, stealing forward up the right. Seemingly endless energy. Now Noni Madueke takes over. Beyond Justin, he's waved beyond 3 and he's curled it! Oh, what a way to seal it for Chelsea! Noni Madueke off the bench to produce a wonderful solo goal to end the cup tie that has been absolutely magnificent. You can't even start to tell the story of an afternoon like this, but there's one thing certain about the ending, and that is that Chelsea will take their place in the last 4 of the FA Cup. Madueke weaved past 2 tiring Leicester challenges, and an effort that curled and looped over the helpless Stelarczyk. It's the subs that have come on and won it for Chelsea in the end. Chelsea 4, Leicester 2, and that finally is that.
Well, 3-2, 4-2, it doesn't really make a difference, and if you look at the stats, Chelsea certainly deserve to have won this game, but that doesn't really tell the full story. 2-0 up, in control, back to 2-2, Leicester looking like they could go on and win it. The fans against the team, or certainly against the manager's decision of a substitution, but they found a way to do it. So important. This is a game, Joe, that Chelsea could not afford to lose. Got to get to the semis, got to get to the final, really. Obviously depends on the draw. Massive win.
Chelsea are going back to Wembley, this time for the FA Cup semi-final, after one of the best last 8 ties of recent years in this famous, most wonderful domestic cup competition. Stamford Bridge shakes, roars, cheers to the sound of Chelsea glory after 98 remarkable minutes against the Championship leaders Leicester, who gave it everything and very nearly caused a massive shock. Chelsea 2-0 up at half-time. Cucurella and Palmer, the goal scorers. Raheem Sterling, who had an awful afternoon, had a penalty saved. It looked like Chelsea were all but through, though Leicester fought back in the second half. An incredible own goal from Axel Disasi from 40 yards to bring them back into contention, and then Stepi Mavedidi's brilliant curling effort made it 2-2. But then Leicester had Callum Doyle sent off, and though Chelsea were denied a penalty, which was cancelled after a VAR review, they spent the rest of the game camped in Leicester territory, and then quality and youthful exuberance for this young Chelsea side off the bench was able to tell in the end. Carney Chukwuemeka and Noni Madueke with stoppage time goals to turn this into a winning afternoon for Mauricio Pochettino, and Chelsea will be back at the National Stadium for the semi-finals. Chelsea 4, Leicester 2.
Wow, Scott Minto Parker. Listen, I forgot your name. In the midst of all of that football, I've completely forgotten your name.
And I thought we were in this together, eh?
Never. What a game of football. Extraordinary. It had literally everything.
Oh, mate, I mean, this is what the FA Cup was all about. We talked about the Wolves-Coventry game. You know, obviously it was a different result in terms of the Championship side not winning here, but we saw absolutely everything. And, you know, in a way it sums up Chelsea, how they've been the last 18 months. You know, this time is a good ending, but there's no real control over it. You know, they were 2-0 up, they missed a penalty, a wonderful opportunity, a one-on-one. You know, the manager getting booed, you don't know what you're doing because he's making a substitution and not taking Raheem Sterling off. An incredible own goal. Leicester coming back into it. 2-2, you don't know which way it's going to go. A penalty, it's not a penalty, it's a yellow card, it's not a yellow card, it's a red card. They're down to 10 men. Where's he going to score from the free kick? No, he doesn't. Which way are we going to go? We're going to get extra time? No, we're not. It's not just 3-2, it's 4-2. Oh my goodness. I'm surprised you got Scott right, to be honest with you.
My head is completely gone. And have a look, this is one thing, right? We'll talk about Sterling in a minute because it's an important subject. And the booing of the Chelsea fans, very, very important subject, right? But let's have a look for the positive for Chelsea here. They're through for a start. They've given us a fully entertaining, with Leicester, a fully entertaining game of football. But Palmer, Chukwuemeka and Madueke have scored goals today. They're 21, 22 and 20 respectively. This is impressive from Chelsea in terms of the future for the football club. Then the fans have just got to be patient. Isn't this the game that proves that this is a long-term thing for Chelsea?
Look, you know, we live in a world that is football, a world of the here and now, and I do think, I've been critical that you can't buy so many players for the future because you still need to have those senior pros nursing these younger pros alongside him. And, you know, you can say this need the senior pros. Thiago Silva, well, his wife said what she said, and then Raheem Sterling, and he does what he does here. So, you know, it's not ideal. You need the right type of people. Both of them are, by the way, and I'm not criticising them personally, and definitely not professionally. They're just going through a bit of a bad time at the moment, but yes, they have the talent, but it's not easy, Aid. It's not easy to just say, well, look at them, we'll just wait. Well, how long do you have to wait for? You know, the Chelsea fans have been used to the here and now. They're almost been wired towards, you know, it's absolutely, we win trophies, and if we don't look like we're going to win trophies, a manager goes, but a ready-made world-class manager, and we've already got ready-made world-class players. It's a completely different philosophy, so I get where the Chelsea fans are coming from. But, you know, there needs to be a mixture. But is there talent? Oof, absolutely. But you're asking them to do it on a week-by-week basis. You can't just do it every now and again. This is Chelsea Football Club. Should be chasing a Premier League title, a Champions League title. year in, year out, and they're not. They're a million miles away. So again, I repeat, I get it where the Chelsea fans are coming from. I don't necessarily agree with the philosophy and the way they've gone and missing out on players like, say, James Maddison. Obviously at Leicester last season, and look at the season he's been having because he's over 25. Not going to go for him. What a player he would have been for Chelsea. But the bottom line is they do have talent. It does take time, but is he going to be given time? We'll have to wait and see.
Scott Minto won the FA Cup with Chelsea. Just make sure you're aware of that, okay? And this is Scott Minto with us on TalkSport. I'll talk to you about Sterling in a second and the booing, but let's get half-time at West Ham. Ian Abrahams.
West Ham 1, Villa 0. The goal of 29 minutes. Soufal's ball in from the right-hand side for Mikel Antonio. Diving header, not unlike Keith Houchin all those years ago in a cup final for Coventry. This time he buried the ball beyond the goalkeeper Martinez, who was beaten again just before half-time. Mohamed Kudus putting the ball in the net. I'm not sure it was handball against Kudus or a supposed foul on the goalkeeper from the initial corner, but the goal was ruled out. West Ham have had to ride their luck a little bit at the back. Watkins has been dangerous, Adrian, but not that dangerous so far. At half-time, it's West Ham 1, Aston Villa 0.
Scott Minto, let's get into the crux of this Sterling debate. He's had a shocker today, basically, even though in the midst of all this, he set up Cole Palmer's goal. So we need to bear that in mind. There is a positive in there for Raheem Sterling, but he's missed a pen, he's missed a sitter, he sent a free kick into orbit, and Poch was booed for leaving him on when he took Mudryk off. The fans felt that Sterling should have gone first. 5 minutes later or so, he does take Raheem Sterling off, and there's still some boos and ironic applause there as well. I've spoken to a couple of Chelsea fans, messaged them, and they basically said, absolutely he was booed. It's been disgraceful. First tries to steal the ball away from Palmer for the penalty, then that disgraceful free kick. Now Mudryk is off instead of Sterling. Absolute joke. They expect more from one of their senior players, and I think they've got every right to expect better as well.
Yeah, do you know what? There's a fine line between saying, you know, I'm having a bad time, but I'm still going to step up and take responsibility, and actually making it all about you, when realising, okay, it's not my day today. Someone else will have a better position to score. And again, I go back to, and it may sound strange, I think Raheem Sterling has been an incredible player. I'd hate to have come up against him as a fullback because he can go both ways and he can run in behind. He makes loads of assists. But in terms of striking the ball, he's not the best striker of the ball. So when it comes to a penalty, with Cole Palmer, as you said at half-time, the penalty he took amongst a few others, but the one in particular that stands out, the gun against Manchester City, the pressure here at Stamford Bridge and against his old side, against the best team, in the Premier League. We'll have to wait and see whether that's the case at the end of this season. He stepped up, he took the pressure technically, mentally, absolutely bang on it. He didn't here, I don't know why. And then I do think Pochettino then, and I think you're absolutely right to mention it at half-time, look, if it happens again, I'm sorry, Cole's having it. I'm taking the responsibility here. And look, he is a nice guy, and I do think he's a really good coach. But sometimes you can be too nice. You have to be ruthless. You have to say, Raheem, this is not your day today. If something like this happens again, I'm telling you, Cole Palmer takes the next one. Whether it's a penalty, whether it's a free kick, if he wants it, he takes it. And that's where he's got to be a bit more ruthless and a bit more nasty. And I don't think he's got that in him, and that's a worry going forward. He only waited 5 minutes, and it was right, absolutely, to take Raheem Sterling off. I understand why perhaps he didn't take him off first time round, because he would have been seen to be killing him, but you've still got to do right what's right for Chelsea Football Club. And the fact he took him off for 5 minutes later, I think, gives him a little bit of grace in terms of that. And look, people might have booed Raheem Sterling, but then they cheered him off and realised he's still trying his best, but this is not your day. Don't step up, and he needs to be taken out of the firing line, and in the end he did. And what happens? Madueke and Chukwuemeka come on and score brilliant goals.
If you're wondering what the booing is in the background, is because I'm at Old Trafford, where Man United are going to take Liverpool on live and exclusive in the FA Cup quarter-finals on TalkSport, and Liverpool have just come out. The United fans giving them their usual reception. Axel Disasi's
that's for you, by the way, Aid.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Yeah. I think it's for Scott Parker, to be honest. Axel Disasi cost £40 million. That's one of the best own goals I think I've ever seen. It's magnificent, isn't it?
Oh, do you know what? He'll be thanking the young lads for coming on and making sure that they've got through to the next round, because Joe was right to mention Raheem Sterling, but obviously Axel, what he's done there, it's just horrendous. And if it happened 10 times out of 10, he wouldn't make a pass like that again. Robert Sanchez, you could say, was too far out, but and should be covering his goal and be in line between the ball and the goal, just in case that happens. And maybe the goalkeeping coach will say that, but it's basically just come off the side of his foot. He absolutely larruped it, and it's a horrendous one. And what it did was give the psychology back to Leicester. I do feel even at 2-0 at half-time, I'm thinking, right, are Leicester going to come out and really go for it? But actually Chelsea had a little bit more control up until that moment. From that moment, probably until maybe just before the sending off, Leicester were absolutely brilliant. They really were. They came back into it. They got the second goal. Wonderful goal it was, you have to say, from Mabedidi. And if anything, it looked like they would go on and get the winner. But the moment they went down to 10 men, it was almost a question of playing for penalties. And are Chelsea good enough to break down this side? And in the end, it was a couple of bits of individual brilliance. They didn't really need it from Madueke, but the Chukwuemeka goal was the big one, and him and Cole Palmer, just sensational.
Well, let's finish this roundup of the game by talking about Cole Palmer. He scored a goal today. I think it's a more tricky finish than people might realise, because the ball was fired in at him and he's found the corner of the net on the run. And the 1-2 he played with Chukwuemeka for the goal, it's a lovely little flick. It's perfectly weighted, even though it's a flick, it's a back heel. He's just a stunning footballer. He's had a brilliant 90 minutes.
He has, realising that if it had just done it, played the ball in front of his right leg, then the defender probably would have got there. So he let it run just a little bit behind him. First of all, to have the football intelligence to understand that, then to have the technical ability to let that happen, and then with the sort of side of his foot, but a little bit behind him, the weight of pass to be perfect for Chukwuemeka to do that first time, but the keeper can't come out and save it. Nothing short of sensational. And again, that pretty much summed him up all season. I cannot wax lyrical enough for this kid who has left the best club in the world because he wants to play. He wants to play football, and he's come to a hornet's nest here, and yet he stood up for the whole season and said, you know what, I'm going to be that senior pro that you're looking for. Don't look at my age, don't even look at my Premier League appearances. Listen to what I say, look at me in the eye, give me the ball, and I don't care where you play me, whether it's as a number 10, whether it's a false 9, it's on the right or the odd time on the left. I will find a way to affect the game. And in this atmosphere at the moment, again, we go back to what Chelsea have been used to for the last 20 years, about how the philosophy of the new owners come in has made it really difficult for players to really shine, and it's going to take time, and no one wants to wait. He has been the standout player, and I salute him, and I'd love to see him. I'm going to be at Wembley actually as a fan watching the Brazil game. I hope he plays. I definitely hope he's on the plane in the Euros, because he can play a big part.
Scott Minto, brilliant commentary. Thank you very much. That's the former FA Cup winner, Scott Minto. After Chelsea, we thought it might be going to extra time. We had more late goals like we did at Wolves yesterday. Chelsea 4, Leicester 2. So Chelsea joined Coventry and Manchester City in the semi-finals of the FA Cup. One more to go as both Manchester United and Liverpool warm up here at Old Trafford. Kick-off here is at 3:30, so just over half an hour away. Kick-off at Ellen Road in the Championship is just a couple of minutes away. It's Leeds against Millwall. Natalie Pike.
Yeah, there's a real feeling of excitement here today. The teams are just about to come out, and the Leeds fans, they know how close they are to going top of the league. They need to win today by 2 or more goals. They have a lot of reasons to be optimistic. They remain unbeaten in the league here all season, and they've won their last 7 in a row. Millwall also have lots of reasons to be optimistic. Despite being 16th in the table, 4 points above the drop, they're unbeaten in the 4 games since Neil Harris's return, picking up 10 points. That's the same number they won in the final 10 games under Joe Edwards. The teams are in the tunnel here as Leeds take on Millwall.
Indeed, they do. What a day already. Chelsea 4, Leicester 2. Elsewhere, by the way, West Ham leading Villa 1-0. Women's Super League, Liverpool 3, West Ham 1, a result. Manchester United beat Bristol City 2-0 at Leigh Sports Village. And Manchester City 4-1 winners at Brighton this afternoon. Tottenham at half-time lead Leicester by a goal to 0. League 2, Salford are playing just up the road. They lead Morecambe 1-0 at half-time. And earlier in the National League, Halifax were 2-0 winners away to bottom club Oxford City. We now turn our attention to Manchester United against Liverpool to see who will join Chelsea in the semi-finals of the FA Cup after they beat Leicester 4-2, live here on TalkSport.
This is TalkSport, and the third FA Cup quarter-final is off and running. Jackson lays it square, Cucurella! There to tap in, here's his first goal for Chelsea. 6,000 Leicester fans behind the goal trying to put off Sterling here. Here he goes, right-footed, saved by Stelarczyk. What a stop! Sterling racing up the inside left channel now, though. He's beaten the defenders again. He's pulled it back, and it's tucked in by Palmer. Oh, Disasi, terrible back pass. It's going to go in. An own goal of epic proportions from Axel Disasi. Mabadini corner of the penalty area. Couple of step-overs. Right-footed effort. What a wonderful goal! Steffi Mabadini. But the foul took place outside the penalty area. In fact, he's going to be sent off here. There's a red card. There'll be no penalty kick. It'll be a free kick to Chelsea. Palmer to Chukwuemeka. That will win it for Chelsea. He's waved beyond three and he's curled it. Oh, what a way to seal it for Chelsea. Noni Madueke off the bench to produce a wonderful solo goal to end the cup tie that has been absolutely magnificent.
The Emirates FA Cup live on TalkSport with Carling, the official beer partner of the Emirates FA Cup and Adobe Women's FA Cup. 18 plus, please drink responsibly.
Here they are, the racing lovers of the UK, phone in hand, ready to play the Coral Reward Shaker. Look at them shake. We've got the regulars at the racecourse shaking their phone with confidence. And look, they've won a free bet. Parents on a day out just happy to be here. They've got it too. An odds booster for them. Lovely stuff. Everyone's a winner. Play Coral's free reward shaker to win guaranteed daily rewards and offers. Coral, we're here for it.
18 plus UK. Max one reward or offer per player per day. Reward restrictions, requirements and T's and C's apply. Take time to think.
McDonald's winning sips is back. Last year, there were over 2 million winners. This year, we hope you're thirsty for more. You can win limited edition Coke glasses, amazing Mackey's food and merch, festival tickets, or even one of our weekly 10 grand cash prizes. Play winning sips now on medium or large soft drinks. Fill your cup, try your luck. Promotional drinks only, end 16th of April. App registration may be required. 18 plus, UK only, terms apply.
Join the nation in cinching it. Buy your perfect car online. And get first-class assistance from start to finish. Your new car, madam, with friendly customer service available 7 days a week.
Hello, this is Cinch. How can I help you?
An expert walkthrough of your new car when it's delivered. And a fat-free 14-day money-back guarantee. Hardly surprising Cinch is rated excellent on Trustpilot. So join the nation in absolutely cinching it. Search Cinch and buy your next car today. Returns subject to mileage restrictions, T's and C's apply.
We're BetMGM Sports and Casino. We know things aren't always golden. That's why we offer you the tools to keep your place safe. Set timeouts to always ensure you take a break when you feel like you need it. Set reality checks so you know exactly how long you've been playing. And set deposit limits to help control what you spend. Stay golden with BetMGM. Play responsibly.
18 plus. You know how the best ideas come in the shower? Well, here's one for you. Switching to an energy-efficient shower head is more efficient because it saves water and could save you up to £40 a year on energy bills. And that's worth singing about. Shower, save, repeat. It all adds up. Find more energy-saving tips at gov.uk/save energy.
Worn out, busy day. Don't let tiredness get in the way when you just can't get going. Barocca can help you face the lag. Formulated with 11 vitamins and minerals, including vitamins B6 and 12 to help support energy release and reduce tiredness and fatigue. Barocca, face the lag. Barocca contains vitamin C, B vitamins 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 9, 12, and magnesium and zinc.
Ever tried to place a bet and found it doesn't really reflect you? It doesn't allow you to flex your savvy knowledge of the sport? Then you need Bet Builder from Virgin Bet.
And it's another booking for the away team.
Choose your favourite markets like corners, cards, or even hitting the crossbar, and personalise your bet until you look at it and think, nailed it. Beautiful, isn't it? You can also pick from pre-made bet builders if you like. Make it your own with Bet Builder from Virgin Bet. T's and C's apply. 18 plus. Bet responsibly. BeGambleAware.org.
Fired up and raring to go.
It's a day full of first-class football coverage. Game day.
Featuring a super savvy squad of footballing experts.
FA Cup Game Day Live
on TalkSport.
the biggest game in English football. Put together the two most successful sides from two huge cities in the northwest of England that have competed in culture, music and football for decades. Give it a scenario where if one loses, it looks like it's season over, but for the other one, success means they continue the dream of sealing a quadruple. Winning this game doesn't just mean success for you, it also damages them. Let's not forget that one of the managers has announced he'll be leaving. Others are regularly announcing the other is due to depart soon. Both trophy winners in the last 12 months or so. And it's the FA Cup, and these are two of the most successful sides this wonderful competition has ever seen, winning it 20 times between them. TalkSport and only TalkSport brings you a classic cup clash live from Old Trafford. Manchester United against Liverpool.
And as a Man United fan, I believe we're going to win the game.
Why?
Because we have to.
From a Manchester United perspective, the only word I can use is this is painful. It's awful to watch.
And that changing room has looked problematic from the start, hasn't it? This club is not being run like a club of the highest stature.
I think everything gets blown out of proportion, whether good or bad. I'm excited to see them back once everyone's fully back fit.
Casemiro! They lead by a goal to nil in the